Championship number 2. My name is Hawker, joined by Dean. And I guess get straight into the predictions quickly, Dean. What are your thoughts on the series?
On the end scoreline of the entire series, or the scorelines of the maps?
Just go through everything for us, please.
Well, I think AGO are probably going to take this one 2-0. I think the first map, at least, should definitely be gone in favour of AGO. It could be a little bit closer on the choice of Pride, but I don't know if I'm too confident in them, really. I'd say AGO are definitely the better team at the moment in the Polish region, and I'd say they're even contesting for the #1 spot. Of course, everyone would still consider VP, but in terms of VP lately, haven't really been getting the results. So AGO actually doing pretty well lately. I'd expect them to be able to take this game fairly easily, considering how much they've really emerged over the past month or two.
Yeah, I think I've got AGO 2-0 as well, which... So it's a bit unfortunate. We get the same prediction. It seems like, I mean, maybe that means the analysis is good, but you know,
or we're both terrible.
Yeah, all that. It'll be nice to have contrasting point of views, but yeah, I think like Train here especially, this could be a fairly convincing win. And then, as you were saying, I think Mirage will be quite close, but still think AGO should have enough, especially with Petitiek or Petitiek, however you want to say it, standing in. Either way, buys are coming in, and a lot of sets of Kevlar. Just going to be Tau dropping a P250 and buying a smoke and a flash. And Verland's going to use that P250 to try and get an entry. Tapping away, going for the long-range headshots. In the meantime, Ivy push coming out, and no one really connecting early on. Manice is on the hold, and he finally gets the first pick, but the push still coming in from AGO. And in fact, some team damage in the mix. We go back to a 3v3, and Grubby does huge damage. Marot surviving on such low health. The kills still come out, and AGO just overwhelm the A site.
Yeah, no, it's just going to be Reeds in a 1-on-3. He does actually successfully find that first kill, but as you can see, Tau and Gruby are just going to go ahead and peek that position together, ensure that they find it together, and that is going to be AGO end up taking that pistol round for themselves. I like that approach, just going fast out A main, fast up Ivy as well, and it worked out really well for them, as you can see. And I'm not sure how that team damage happened. I'm not sure how Maniz actually managed to damage up his teammate, but I don't really think it changed the outcome of the round too much. But yeah, here we go. Pride going for the force buy, getting what they can into this one, and it looks like they might be going a bit faster over towards the B side of the map. Just a small bit of presence put towards A main. And I presume AGO, I guess they're just looking to just try and stick together, make sure that they trade out all these pistol players and don't allow for any of these rifles to be retrieved.
Especially with such a big investment into rifles, I certainly expect that to be the case. But you can see one of the players with the CZs holding up close. That's Reets out towards B. Push is just going to come down ramp, and Reets does get that kill up close. That's an AK recovered. Sachi is going to get a kill back in the meantime, and Reets still holds on to that AK. I'm not sure how he's still alive. Finally, he gets overwhelmed. Fern is in the back lines. He loses his map 10, but Snatchy will find a third. He is cleaning up this round. And Manice now, the one man left, will be out in the open. But a little bit of a sloppy round. They lose a couple of rifles there on the B push.
Yeah, I'd say Pride are actually fairly happy with the amount of damage they were able to get into that round. Taking down... well, they only purchased up one Mac 10, correct? So they actually did manage to drop an AK and a Galileo in the hands of AGO, and because of that, after the reinvestment, they're not really going to have too much money left. Of course, they still have a chance to try and make this one as clean as possible, then build up the economy, especially since considering the fact that they're only up against mostly default pistols, or yeah, one P250 has been invested into. So I don't think much is going to be done in this one. Maybe a kill or two could come out. That would be the ideal situation, and actually, it's going to be one of the players from that Pride side to go ahead and open it up by finding the opening kill. But as expected, it's all going back in favor of AGO. AGO, PHR is hitting himself a great little one-tap there with the P250, and it's only Tom now that remains. 2 HP, very little he can do, and that is going to allow AGO to now recover their economy going into this first gun round.
Yeah, I thought for a second there that he managed to get all 3 kills, but only the 2 with the P250 for PHR. And now we go into the buy round with both teams going for AWPs early on. Manice, of course, getting one for Pride, whereas Snatchy has one for AGO. Snatchy has shown a willingness to play very aggressively with that AWP on the T side of Train on occasion if he feels it's necessary. So that's something to watch out for. He might try and find an opening. But in the meantime, we are just going to see Pride holding off with plenty of players on the A site. One of them being Manice with this AWP. He has got it trained on A main. Doesn't quite get the angle though, and the nade actually forces Snatchy back. So neither AWP are able to get a pick early on. Both teams just sitting back, and I think they're both going to wait to see if their AWPs can find an entry, most likely.
Yeah, I would presume so. And so far in this round, nothing really substantial done other than some presence being shown towards Ivy and a very, very small amount of damage being put in towards Snatchy, but nothing really too substantial. Shouldn't be too big of a deal for the AGO side, as now they do look to try and maybe get some control towards Ivy. They throw that smoke up. They look to try and maybe creep a player up in that position, or else they can just continue to hold and wait to see if Pride go for a bit of a reactive play to see if they attempt to take some map control on a different part of the map, or maybe even reclaim Ivy peeking straight into that op. So they haven't really made any sort of commitment yet anywhere on the map, and with 48 seconds left, they need to make a decision soon, especially considering how split up their players are. They really need to all get moving towards one location, or maybe a bit of a fake could be sold. But I presume at this point it's going to be an A split with players above Pop Dog, with players creeping their way up Ivy and the bomb still waiting outside of MA, and that's the most likely approach. And there we go, some damage early on done by Batitech. The stand-in for this Pride side is going to be able to start it off strong by finding that first headshot. Morel's playing up close to the E-box, doing a good job also, and it's really just everyone from Pride right now stepping up to make sure that they will be able to take this round, and it looks like they're going to do it almost perfectly clean, other than some damage taken onto a few players.
Yeah, I like that off angle by Morelts as well, especially with how Tom was playing off of it. You kind of saw Tom was in position to then get the kill onto the second Pop player who was looking towards E-box. And Snatchy could be in trouble. He might get hunted down after time here. He has got his AWP still in position, and he gets the second, just about holding on to the AWP. That was very, very close. But Snatchy will keep that into this upcoming round. So that certainly will warrant a buy coming in from Ago. But Pride not going to give up easily either. They get their first round on the boards. And both teams still with really pretty good buys, apart from PHR back down to a Deeg. We are again going to see those AWPers potentially get into a fight this time around, because Snatchy is in towards A main. Although those nades doing a bit of damage early on, and it looks like they have slowed down any aggression Ago were thinking of going for. So still, nothing really happening for either AWPer. But Manise might go for the peak, and he does nail the shot, winning out in that AWP duel to start the round.
Yeah, really nice find there for Pride, as they are looking to try and chain a few rounds together. And oh my god, Reitz, what a spectacular shot that was. He was so crisp on the trigger, flicked back instantly, knew he had the headshot, there was no doubt about it. And that's a second opening advantage now for Pride, as it is only going to be 3 players remaining for AGO. And with Tao already down to roughly half HP, this may be difficult for them to try and find an opening back into this one. PHR with the up, he'll be the player I look towards to try and actually get that done. And it looks like it will be towards MN, where they attempt to try and make their way out, and it's not going to be good. Once again, an off angle being held. This time it's a different one, and it is by Tom instead, but he's done the job just as well as we saw in the previous round, as right now no chance for these terrorists to find the opening.
Now Manise rotating, gets another kill, and Ago gets shut out of that A site. They don't even really get to gain any ground, and they also don't get a single frag. So Ago now will be back down to a weak buy. You assume with 1 eco they should be able to buy, but Snatchy goes for the investment. I'm not exactly sure why, because no one else has followed suit. That's a bit of a strange call from Snatchy there. Not sure if that was just miscommunication or just a lapse of judgment, but either way, he spent all of his money except for $400. So that could certainly make the buy next round a little more difficult. But maybe he's got a master plan for that CZ. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, either that or it's a bit of a tilt buy, but I think it's way too early for a tilt buy. So it must have been just some form of miscommunication. Maybe he accidentally bought the Kevlar, and at that point, you may as well go ahead and buy the CZ. There's no real point to go at a Glock and Kevlar, and you'd be better off spending the extra 500 to give yourself a chance to actually get something done with it. So going over toward B at the moment, they have 1 player with that weaponry, as was mentioned, and with the rifles and the ops ready to just hold this site down, it's going to be difficult. And maybe they can get a plant, but it doesn't seem likely so far, as they are going to be just losing numbers repeatedly without actually being able to find any at all themselves. And they haven't really taken control of the bomb site yet either. Furlan is in actually a pretty good position, as he finds 1 player lurking up towards upper, and there we go, Furlan getting some real damage done. Fakes the bomb plant, not going to be looking for that. He is going to go for the round win, it seems. He is attempting to try and actually get this done, but doesn't expect that third player to be coming back from connector, and it's going to be Morels to close that round out. So there you have it. Pride are going to be able to equalise the scoreline. AGO, they will be finally getting out their bye once again, but as was noted from the previous round, Snatchy's going to be struggling to get everything he wants. Instead, he has the scout.
Yeah, and I don't really want Snatchy to be fighting against Manise like we saw previously, because he couldn't win that fight when he had the AWP. So with the scout, you would expect him to lose fairly easily. Either way, Ago lining up some A smokes by the looks of things. This could be another fast play, but this time with some sort of more utility used. Could certainly be successful. And we're going to see the nades go over the top, but Tom is up close. He can cut this off. That deep smoke really does a good job at slowing down this Ago push. And now they cannot risk pushing in towards A main. You can see, I mean, Ago, they do have a fair amount of utility left. They didn't pull the trigger on all of those A smokes, so it's not terrible for them, But it's just nice from Pride to sort of slow that down and make sure that Ago can't go for exactly what they want.
Yeah, just looking to try and bait out the utility, I guess, from Pride, and now they're actually going to be attempting to go for this execute. They still have quite a few flashes left. They have some more smokes also, as they do just try to cover this bomb site and finally begin to make their way out now. But there's a pretty solid defense set up at the moment for the CT side. But T-Tech going to be able to find one at least before falling. Now it was the one to successfully find that trade frag, and Ruby actually able to wrap around through Olaf back through Hell and find a kill onto Morels before it's Maniz to trade it back. And there we have it, AGO once again reclaiming that advantage in a 3-on-2. No HP for Tau, but the bomb now in the hands of Furlan should be getting planted, and both CTs looking to try and regroup but towards that old bomb train position, as it is going to be a difficult retake. They have a molly left to maybe try and clear one of these positions out. They also have a defuse kit onto Tom, but if they don't find a kill soon, they may not have enough time to actually get this done. With so many different Ts just in different angles, it can be very hard to retake this A-bomb site on train. And Reitz, oh, he spotted out one player up close as well. Reitz finds a single kill, but losing his teammate in the process. Furlan will be able to close that one out with a quick double.
And Ago will manage to finally get their 4th round on the board after going 3-0 up. Put an end to Pride's winning streak, but Pride still have enough money for a buy, even if it isn't quite exactly perfect. Only one CZ in the mix, so certainly a competent buy on their side. Again, guys, remember, this is a fairly important matchup for both these teams, I would say, because being two Polish teams, I'm sure they will want that spot at Katowice 2018. That is what is up for grabs for the team that finishes first in the entire tournament. So a long way to go, but this would certainly be a nice way to put their sort of foot in the right direction. And we are going to see Ago mostly group up around Brown Halls, apart from Grubby, who is currently playing on the Lurk. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go for this push, and with Reitz being all alone on the B site, could be successful, but doesn't look like they're quite going to commit to the push yet. Maniz has been called over for the rotate, so if they went back towards A, they might have a chance, but Morels is in Pop Dog, so it's kind of interesting as to whether or not Ago will go for this B push, especially now that Grubby gets a pick elsewhere.
Yeah, great opening find there by Grubby. That may actually make Maniz question himself about the rotate, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. As the XQ comes down towards B, Maniz is going to be able to position himself with that up to try and give his teammates support. And Reitz for the moment, using that smoke really well, actually, that he threw down in the middle of the site, going to be able to use that as some form of cover at least. Eventually does fall, but Maniz taking one frag back will make it that AGO still only have that one-man advantage, as the bomb will now get planted. And the 3 remaining CTs, let's see if they're even going to bother going for this, because I don't know if a 3-on-4 retake on this B-bomb site is so likely, especially with Maniz being tagged down low, Tom not even having a rifle for himself. So to save, probably the better idea.
Looks like Pride do agree with you. They're going to save what they can. Maniz does have that AWP, but there's no money in the bank, so even if they save 3 rifles, it won't be a great position for them. And it looks as though Ago may have regained control here. And as we were saying earlier, we think Train should be heavily favored for Ago, and with how this start has gone for them, that is looking good for their chances. If they can gain control of the economy, keep Pride low, then they have a good chance of gaining a decent lead on their T side, especially with already 5 on the boards. And Pride do have a decision to make here. You would think one save, if they pretty much full save, would be enough for a buy. And that's what I'd expect them to do. It's actually Ago to call for a pause, so that gives Pride a chance to discuss the buy, and it does look like they won't invest too much into this 9th round.
Interestingly enough, AGO actually call a tactical pause. They want to make sure that, knowing now the economy of Pride is so low, knowing that if they win this round, they'll be able to break the economy, get another round for free, as they will be up against an Eco, and at that point they'll be up towards 7 if they are able to win this one, I'd say, because an Eco in the following. So yeah, they just want to make sure that they win this one. That'll be a good start for them to just begin rolling over Pride. And Pride, I'd say coming into this, they are the slight underdog team. AGO have definitely overtaken them, at least in terms of international performances. I don't know about when it's two different, when it's two Polish teams playing, it can be different. Of course, they have studied each other, they've kind of learned the game in the same environment. So, but at least AGO on the international scene have been the better performer lately. So Pride probably wanted to get a better start in this game.
And while this pause goes on, I think it's a good time to give you a word from our sponsors over at Farmskins. If you visit Farmskins, they claim their drops are better than Gaben, and I believe them. I don't trust Gaben, to be honest. There are also many everyday activities and bonuses, so make sure to check out Farmskins. Got some nice cases on there. You can put your skins in, give it a go. Why not? And speaking of giving it a go, this is, again, a pause from Aggo, tactical timeout. So they are just taking their time to discuss things over, and we will now head back underway into this 9th round.
Yeah, I like that pause, though. Proactive rather than reactive pause. Yeah, saying, well, we don't need to pause right now, but we might need to pause if we start losing a few rounds in a row. So if we take the pause now, we can stop those few rounds from being lost. And I like that approach. It is a really good mentality to have, I guess. And coming into this one, they are still up against a bit of a buy coming in by Pride, of course, those weapons that were saved. So they do need to still be cautious. Of course, we know what damage and up can get done. We know Meniz can be a very competent player on that weapon, as can Morels with the M4. So could get dangerous. And early on, damage is going to be exchanged between both up players. Meniz actually continues on that angle, and he's going to be able to take down Groovy. And that is an important pick for Pride to be able to take early on. And Meniz, if I was him, I'd probably be dropping this over towards Tom, as he's a lot more HP to work with. But that one-man advantage is definitely what they wanted, as well as that damage onto Snatchy.
A good start from Meniz again with that AWP. It seems like he's getting quite a few of those first kills. Does take a lot of damage down to 20 HP, as you were saying, but still should be fine. Going to see with over a minute left on the clock. Still a lot of time for Aggo, but they are going to have to get a kill back. Tisiak actually gets a think. They're looking for the frag, and he will take down the bomb. So now a 2-man advantage, and the bomb has to be recovered. I think Snatchy is looking to do so, but by himself with the AWP, that won't be an easy task. There goes PHR, though, getting a kill back. So that does make things slightly easier, and Meniz doesn't spot Furlan on top of the train. Reitz, though, up close, gets a kill back. And that AWP being recovered could make a difference, but PHR flicks around. How does he get that kill? That was a sick 180, and that just about wins the round for Aggo, but my god, was that close.
Yeah, look at that. If you noticed just before that round ended, if you had looked at the HP of Furlan and PHR, they were both extremely low, so they were so close to losing one of those aim duels. And even if one of them won, one of them lost, they would have been low HP. It would have been a very difficult situation then with the one-on-one. Of course, it could have went either way. So just about saving themselves up against that half buy. They will now have a full buy going against them, as Pride finally do once again get those rifles out. No up for Meniz this time, but he should be able to do at least his job with that M4. As AGO seem to be just going for a bit of a B approach this time. They may try to swap up the pace, rather, it seems, as they may try and overwhelm this B side defense, which was a bit of a weakness early on into the half. But I think Pride have been able to adjust well, and for the sake of them, you hope they have, as right now it looks like AGO will be sending basically all their players, other than one who's left lurking over towards Ivy and is in their direction. As now 1 minute remaining, still plenty of utility to be used. We should see them making their way in any moment.
Again, a minute left on the clock, and again, Aggo with a fairly similar setup to a previous round, where they have 4 players towards B and 1 lurking out towards Ivy. This time, though, it's the AWP of Snatchy on the lurk. So I think that's going to make it more difficult for him to get something done. Actually, Snatchy just pushed through the smoke. That was such a weird decision. Petitiak takes him down. There goes PHR to get 1 kill out towards B, and that's going to prompt the push. Reitz, though, is in position for a frag, looking for another, and he does find it. The push continues, and that does allow Aggo to claim the site, but they need to get that bomb down. Now they recover it, now they get the plant in, but Tao is going so aggressive. He gets that pick. Tom finds it back. It's a 1v1 with Tao on just 12 points of health. He's going to have to go back to the site. With 15 seconds, the bomb plant should be safe, but Tom has a nade. Doesn't deploy it though, so Tao will just about get away with the plant and reposition in time. That was hugely important. Now does Tom check this close corner? I don't think he does. Tao has played this to perfection. Look at Tao go. Oh, it's so smart. The backstab comes in. Great play from Tao to close it out.
Yeah, that's unlucky there. The nade just been about 2 seconds too late to actually take that kill, because Tao, even after getting the bomb down, did actually slow walk off of the site, so that nade for quite a while was within... He would have been within range of it, just about escaped, and there we have it. Once again, the economy of Pride isn't going to really be in a good state by any means. AGO able to get themselves a 7-3 lead, and now they should be able to increase that even further, unless some heroics are pulled off with these Deagle, which of course you can never underestimate. They can really cause a lot of damage, especially in the hands of players who are able to utilise those well. And early on, it'll be the HP advantage going in favour of AGO. Morel's going to be receiving some damage. Not quite sure what that happened. I believe it was just out towards the A-bomb site. And AGO continuing to take this one slow, it seems. Just preparing for a bit of an A execute.
Indeed they are. Up against 5 Deegs, it shouldn't be too difficult to get these kills, and Furlan proves that. Gets a couple, and a third, actually. Not too bad from Furlan. Even if he goes low, he gets the frags required. And he might just take down Manise if... Oh, actually, Manise pushes the smoke. There's a kill. He's not going to get anything else. Maybe if he had a rifle, he could have got loads of frags there, but with the D, not meant to be. And so now Pride will be back with a bye, but these recent round losses mean they now have a 5-round deficit to overcome, which is really already a tough position to be in on the CT side.
Oh yeah, certainly not what you want, but again, they are still in the position where if they can try and chain a few together now, they can possibly get up towards 7, which was not a bad performance by any means. They would be still very happy with that, or at least moderately happy considering how this game is going at the moment. So that will be their goal now, try and bring this back, take those remaining 4 rounds. But of course, AGO are going to be putting up a very, very tough fight. They are looking to try and deny any more rounds at all for Pride. They themselves want to get up towards 12, and it seems like a fairly standard default coming in by AGO with a lot of presence put over towards B, but the bomb nowhere really to be seen. So it seems like they're just trying to maybe waste out that utility, force the CTs to use their flashes, use their Molotovs, also use their smokes, so that when they do decide to reapproach a site later on, either they won't have the utility to hold them off or go for the retake. As now, 1 minute, just about remaining, 1 minute and 7 seconds. And it seems like they're going to be grouping back up and making their way out towards A.
Do have a fair few smokes if they want to deploy them. 3 smokes in total. And a couple more nades to utilize in terms of nades, mollies, and flashes. We are going to see Morales in Pop Dog. This is a good position to be in because he's not going to get smoked off. So we see Snatchy actually missing that flick there. And he has the AWP as well, and he's going to try and get a kill or 2, but Morales in position, lines them up. It's all 3 kills, and, sorry, a team kill in the mix. Oh, it's actually only 2 for Morales because of that. And Petitiak also finds another frag. That's got to be disheartening for Ago. It was looking so good for them. They got that opening pick. They took down Manise. But Snatchy now is the only man left, and he will be shot in the back. A little bit of a disappointing round for Ago, but they have to put it into perspective. They're still 8-4 up. They should still be happy with their position, even if that round went so poorly.
Yeah, and they are still able to scrape a bye together also into this round. So actually able to get 5 rifles, I believe one was dropped over there to PHR. They're able to get a lot of utility also into this one. So it is going to be a very, very good buy. They're in a position now where if they are able to win this round, once again, Pride will be struggling to buy into the following round. So Pride, they need to begin to chain these rounds together now. They need to try and withstand the buy again of AGO. And the question is, can they actually do that? Because overall, AGO definitely have been having a great performance, and Pride, they need to continue stepping it up. As right now, once again, this seems to be a fairly passive round by AGO, but it's Petitiak to find that first kill. Taking that challenge towards Ivy, finds the opening headshot onto Groovy. And now with a 1-man disadvantage, AGO, let's see what they're going to decide to do. Beginning to back off from their positions mostly. We see 2 players that were above Pop Dog making their way back towards A main, and PHR gets a great opening frag. Morales challenging in towards the Pop Dog position is going to get taken down, and AGO, after finding that kill, looks like they're going to go ahead and just hightail their way back over towards the B-bomb site. Only 1 player to try and hold this is Reitz with a nade and a flash to maybe try and slow this down, and some feet, I believe, were spotted there as Furman was on the ramp just a little bit too far down. So actually it's going to go ahead and be another fake. They're like, we've been spotted, let's make our way back towards A instead. And let's see if they're going to be successful actually trying to take this over. And they have sold a bit of a fake. 2nd player over towards B, 1 player in connector who does find a single kill before falling to Snatchy. And now in a 3-on-3, it's looking like this round could still go either way, and this frag's going to be so important, but PHR doesn't get it somehow. Over towards the green train, also there was some damage being connected on towards Snatchy, and Teo once again making his way back towards B. What is this round? This is the most confusing round I've ever witnessed. It's so difficult to cast this when the players don't even know what they're doing, as now it's going to be only Snatchy that remains. The bomb, of course, was already planted. He doesn't have a Molotov, sadly, to try and waste any time. Instead, all he has available is a flash and 3 players to try and take down Manise. He's going to be getting in position soon to try and get that bomb defused, and Reitz with the cover is going to be done so perfectly, and that's another round now in favour of Pride as they do begin to close this gap just a small amount.
So what I've learned is if you go between the sites about 6 times in the round, then the opponents have no clue where you are, and you also have no clue where you are, but it got them the bomb plant, so I guess it kind of worked. They didn't win the round though, unfortunately, so there you go, back down to pistols. But yeah, that was a bit of a chaotic round. However, Pride managed to just about get on top of things. And now Ago again lining up this A execute. We've seen this a couple of times, but they're actually going to go out towards Ivy this time around. That could catch the players off guard. Petitiak is currently looking over towards A main. You should hear the steps, but the push might come in before he turns back around, and they're going to get up close. Chef trying to hold. Manice does get the one frag, and a second before he falls. It's not too bad for Ago, though. They get a couple of kills and an AK recovered. This next frag is vital, and Morales does find it, so PHR is left alone.
Yeah, and Morales is going to be able to close that out with 2 quick kills, so as expected, that round is going to go in favor of Pride. AGO didn't really have any real investment into that one. This is the round they're looking towards now. Of course, they'll be happy enough with 8, even if they are to lose this round, but they want to, of course, get themselves up towards that 9, make it a little bit easier. Even if they lose the pistol, then they won't be losing their lead, I guess is the best way to put it. As the final round of the first half now is going to be going live, and so far we've had a very good game. It has been very entertaining, and I hope it continues to be so, as a double up setup is going to be in play for Pride right now. Maniz and Petit Tech are going to be rocking those. Tau up close towards Ivy could be in danger as we see one of those creeping up close. Petit Tech looking to try and find this opening kill, and there's no one to trade for either player, so whoever wins this is going to be claiming a very crucial frag for their team to work with.
Ooh. Out comes the leg, out comes the pistol, and Tishek just about gets the frag. Furlan is in the back lines. How is he here? He pretended to be a CT and catches them out. Furlan with all 3 frags. All right then, that's insane. Morales is here. He finally shuts him down. And there you go. They still don't know exactly where they want to go, because even with those 3 frags, they don't have control of the B's site. But now they spot out that AWP. They should be aware they can go. And Snatchy just straight up takes the fight. Just 1 player left. They should be able to win this out now. No need to peek. They are just going to plant the bomb, and 3v1. Always going to be Ago closing this out. At least you would hope so.
Yeah, I would presume somewhere else. Likely going to... I don't even know if he's going to go for this, because the economy of the CT side, it is okay, but as you can see, 2 players don't really have the money to buy for themselves, so a drop would be handy, but he goes for it. He just takes another kill. Oh, that was the last round. Oops, my apologies. I was a bit distracted because I was thinking about some other stuff. My bad. But yeah, of course he had to go for it. But yeah, 9th round there for AGO coming into this one. They are going to be happy with that. Pride, considering how bad they started off, I think they will be okay with 6. If they pick up the pistol, they'll be able to likely bring it up 9-9 unless they get overwhelmed by the pistols or something along those lines and one of the anti-ecos. But I think this game could still go either way. I'm not going to make a prediction. As I said before, at least I do expect AGO to take this game, or at least this series. But maybe a map could go in favor of Pride.
It was certainly Furlan who made that last round happen, that's for sure. Great play from him, but they're going to have to keep it up in this second half if they want to close it out. We are going to see Pride with the molly and the smoke on towards Manice. Tau is also going to get the smoke and the defuse kit. Fairly standard buys, and here we go. Pride leaning towards B, apart from Morales, who just gets tapped off. That's a huge kill from Grubby. Now they should have the info. It's going to be a B play, and Tau spots the first man. Reeks up close, eventually gets the trade. So down goes the bomb in a 3v4, and 2 players very low. Tishek on 1 HP, Grubby on 10. These next few kills will be critical as PHR sprays away, looking for the second, and Petishek on 1 HP just about survives, but he's the only man left, even with that headshot. Having said that, he gets a second, so he needs 2 more. Fake defuse comes out, Petishek peeks the bomb. He should be taken out, but he manages to survive. How is this happening? Petishek nearly gets it done. Ooh. Oh my goodness gracious me, that was rather close, wasn't it? Ago just about take the round, but gotta give props to Petishek. That was a good try.
Oh, AGO were sweating after their 3rd kill came in there by Petit Tech. That was getting dangerous because Snatchy coming up that ladder is not really going to be perfectly accurate. If we saw maybe a little quick lock headshot coming out, there was no chance that he'd actually be able to get anything done. Luckily enough, he gets that kill quick with the P2000 because of the low HP, but it could have gotten really dangerous. And 3 more kills coming in for Petit Tech also is actually a pretty good find, because you do have to remember he gets $300 per each kill he gets, so that's going to allow him, once the guns do come out, to get a better investment, and also he gets a deagle into this round.
Wow. Pride not looking to calm things down. They want to keep up the play. Tau holding up close, though, will spot out Manice. Furlan with the FAMAS, also going to see if he can find an angle, but with the smoke up, shouldn't really be a worry. We are just going to see Pride spread out. A couple of players now pushing out in towards Olaf. There's Snatchy, though, to spot them. 2 quick kills. That should really mop things up, because PHR is also close, and Reitz is the only man left. Fairly nice round from Ago. They do exactly what they needed to.
Yeah, just Reitz remaining alive now. There is 2 players slightly tagged up. Furlan also not looking the healthiest, so maybe 1 or 2 kills could be taken out of this right now. He is going to be just making his way back towards A main. And with the bomb out in the open and players holding this position, I think it's unlikely that he's even going to be able to get a kill out of this unless he finds the first on PHR. But I don't know. Oh, wait, maybe he could get the backstab. I was going to say PHR. We're not really paying attention. Luckily enough, Snatchy was actually there to be watching that position. And as he dies, rather, it gives the info to PHR so that he can spin around. But that's a good start now into this for AGO. They're able to get both of those rounds, 11-6. But now they're going to be going up against the full buy. Do they decide to upgrade all these weapons, or are they going to keep a couple of those weaker ones? And it seems like it is going to be the latter, as they do decide to keep a UMP on the Tau. Furlan are going to be working with a FAMAS also, but the rest of the players, they are fully invested. The AWP, the M4 has plenty of utility to work with. On the other hand, for Pride, they have enough utility. It's not everything they might want, but they have enough to make do with.
Quick 1-for-1 trade out, Ivy, with the CT aggression. We saw Snatchy there go for the play back, and oh, Tom just taps his head off. Nicely done to bring us back to a 3-on-3, but PHR sneaks around the red train, and that pick might make all the difference, although he doesn't expect Morelts to be up close. So again, we go back to a 2v2. It is important to note, though, the bomb is still back towards T-spawn, so Pride need to make sure they recover that before they can get the bomb down.
Yeah, they do still have quite a lot of time left, so they aren't really in too much of a rush. We should see them, just once they group up and clear all these close positions, begin making their way towards A main, because in the 2-on-2, all they have to do is successfully trade, even if they do end up finding a CT on the way. Just need to make sure that they can get that down and give their teammate the chance to win the 1v1. So the bomb should be retrieved any moment right now. Both CTs are actually going to be positioning themselves to try and actually hold down this A bomb site, and that could be an interesting choice. Does Pride decide to maybe bring this towards B, or will they just go back out towards A, which they've previously cleared? And it looks like it will be out towards A indeed. Tau able to push even towards the bomb site. Unluckily for him anyway, Groovy has already left, so it's just going to be up to this one player with the UMP to try and get the initial damage done. Try and get at least one of these kills, and here we go, Morels and Tom just creeping their way out into the A bomb site. We'll be approaching this position now, 20 seconds remain, and once this bomb gets tapped, it is going to be the info known, and Tau will be in a really good position then once he has the support from Groovy to try and actually get something done, and he's actually going to be making his position now, and he runs straight across, found by Morels. It will be all onto Groovy now in a 1-on-2, and Morels on this high angle should be able to find it, and there we have it. Morels with a quick double kill to close that one out, and it is now going to be Pride finally picking up a gun round. They're able to pick up the first one rather on their T side, as the economy of AGO not really looking great.
Yeah, this is now looking like it could still be a hotly contested game here. It's been very entertaining up until this point, and that could continue all the way through because AGO don't have the cash. If they were to miraculously win this round, that would break Pride's money, but certainly not expecting that. And considering Pride have much superior weaponry here, they will be hoping to save all these 4 AKs. We are just going to see Tau get up close with the CZ. Pretty good position to hold from. Generally, the Ts don't want to clear that position in towards upper because it is such a close range corner, so he can play that quite well and try and hold off the B site. In the meantime, though, we are just going to see Pride spreading out, taking control of a few positions, but not really forcing any fights just yet. And now Tau is actually going to think about the peak. He decides against it, though, so still no fights to start this round.
Yeah, we're down to just around the minute now remaining, and with a couple of players creeping up Ivy, we should be able to see at least some action taking place momentarily. Furlan, of course, up close in this corner. Will he be able to find that, or will it be the AK to reign supreme? And it looks like it will indeed be the rifle. Petitec able to find that opening. Kilmaniz needs to be wary of this aggressive pushing towards A main. He gets the first, not able to quite transfer onto the second, but Morels, of course, is going to be just behind them, making sure that they do have that buddy system. And now it's only Tau and Snatchy that remain. Tau already creeping his way up towards the bomb site, is going to be playing now from old bomb train. But against these 4 rifles, it's going to be a very difficult task for both Tau and Snatchy to try and overcome, and it's just getting increasingly difficult as they do find at least 1 more kill.
Cheeky little double molly into Pop Dog there, just completely roasting the CT. Now AGO have got the money for the buy. They don't really have the money for the AWP, though, so it's just going to be 5 M4s versus 5 AKs. A completely classic CS round, I guess you could say. None of those fancy AWPs, just all old-fashioned rifles. Let's see which one will come out on top. We are going to see Tau again, solo holding B to start the round. It's a little bit scary, but he should be fine, even with the lack of utility. You can see, though, the rest of the team also struggling, and that's a really nice nade, doing a bit of damage to both Furlan and PHR. That's something that I wish more teams would do, to be honest, because you will often see CTs push into Pop Dog. And those nades, if you stack 2 of those, that would do a lot of damage. But even the 1 nade does a lot to both Furlan and PHR. So a strong start for Ago, all things considered.
Yeah, that aggressive push up towards Pop Dog is something that you can expect to happen, especially when the CT side are working with a low economy, rather than playing back fire, allowing that utility from Pride to actually be utilized and to kind of restrict them from actually being able to hold the bomb sites. They have to push forward. They have to be in spots where they can actually try and defend it without actually giving it up. So it's something you expect. I guess a nice raid comes in from Pride. That double nade, of course, as you mentioned, doing quite a substantial amount of damage on both Furlan and PHR. But now with 50 seconds remaining, let's see where Pride are going to try to take this. Will they make their way towards A? It seems as, for the moment, most of their presence out Ivy. It is going to be 3 players. They are going to be getting caught in a bit of a crossfire, though. Snatchy finds 1, and he's able to trade that. Reach down Pop Dog. He's going to be able to find two opponents with their... It's exposed to him, and now in a 3-on-2, it's looking decent for Pride, but one player managing to creep his way onto the site once again. Reeds with another headshot, and now it's all onto one player as Snatchy is the last man standing. And look at the HP on these Pride players. Look how close that round was. That could have went either way, but in the end, Beniz and Reeds, they steal it out of the hands of AGO.
We've had a couple of incredibly close rounds, haven't we? I think Pride, for the most part, have been the beneficiaries of them. It's worked out for them to bring us back to a 9-11 scoreline. We are going to see again a go with just the pistols, and Pride really starting to get rolling on their T side now. If they keep this up, this could still be a very competitive game, even though Ago had what we thought was quite a strong lead from their T side. We're going to see Reeks get that first kill. PHR, though, does land the Deagle shot in reply. However, Manice, long range with the AWP, will happily take that fight all day, every day. We are going to see the push having come out through B. I believe Tau is in Pop Dog. Tau actually might find the flank, but Morels flicks around. Snatchy is still up close, though, trying to find an angle. After getting the 1 kill, he will fall. So unfortunately for Ago, the pistols, again, not really going to work out. Well, I might find 1 in the back, especially with the AK recovered. Oh, that's the bomb. This is scary now, but Furlan tries to force another fight, and it won't be happening today. Pride get double digits.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty good streak now for Pride. They've been able to pick up 4 rounds in a row, of course. It was mostly against Ecos. They did face 2 of those, at least, were up against pistols. And I'd say the buys weren't really the best either, because AGO not really having the full upgrade on the first gun round. On the one after that, they really were lacking the utility. So this is where now we find out if Pride are really going to be making this comeback, or if AGO were just waiting to try and get this full setup out. And with a double up, this could be quite dangerous. Let's see if Pride are going to be expecting this now coming into this round, as they seem to be just continuing on with a default, just passive, just playing a fairly standard. This time, 0 presence towards Ivy, actually. And instead, it's the majority of their players grouping up in A main and just Reets above B, making at least some presence to make sure that no real flank can come in by the CT side. But there we have it. Snatchy's going to be able to open it up. This up already paying off dividends for Snatchy, as Furlan also still has one to utilise.
Yeah, good entry from Snatchy. I said that he can be quite an aggressive AWPer. He hasn't really shown that so far, but he hasn't needed to in this round to get that opening kill. Just holding a fairly standard angle, locking this position down into team main. And the rest of Pride look more likely to go towards B. Although, as we have seen quite often, there seems to be a lurker out towards Ivy fairly consistently. Ago were also prone to doing that on their T side. So they might be expecting this, as Furlan might have spotted the man. Indeed, he has. That's an important kill, as the Pop Dog push might come out. They're not using their nades here. They need to think twice about this, because Furlan is trained on the position. Smoke also is poor, and that allows Furlan another easy frag. Doesn't quite connect with another, but PHR is there for the backstab. And Reets has to find all 5 kills. He does get the first and the second, but there are just way too many players looking straight at him. And Pride are finally going to lose out. They've won 4 in a row before that. But Ago put a stop to that winning streak, and now Pride don't have the best of money.
Yeah, and that secondary up was actually taken down. So nice find by Reets as he's fallen back there to actually go ahead and take 1 more player in the process. So Furlan was actually doing a really good job in that round also. So it definitely is going to be something that they could be lacking in this one. But of course, Snatchy, the primary upper, still is going to have it to try and use to once again find that opening pick as he did in the previous round. But for now, Pride, let's see what they're going to go for. Just once again going for this default, most of their presence towards A main. This time they're working with a much weaker buy, though. They do have 3 pistols, but with the amount of utility invested, I'm expecting once again an execute to be coming towards this A-bomb site.
Well, Pride with the utility, as you were saying, might just be preparing an A play. With a couple of AKs in hand, it's not a terrible idea, but remember, Snatchy is boosted up in Connector, so he may be able to see in towards T main before the push comes out and get an opening pick. We are going to see the push come forwards. Snatchy was flashed off that position. It's Furlan, however, to get the first. Here comes a quick trade as Reese sidelines Furlan out of the round, so just a 1-for-1. The AK is still in hand, but Pride not really going on for the all-out aggression, and PHR gets flashed in for that peak. Still a 1-for-1 trade, though, and we're going to see Morelts work the angle. Really nice position for the frag, and Tao now is the only man left 1v3. He's going to get caught, and Pride are going to keep this game close as they get their 11th.
Yeah, this has probably been the closest map we've seen all day, I would say. 11 to 12, it's just been so back and forth. Pride they're better with the pistols, and only really the 2 rifles are able to pull that one off somehow, and now it's actually AGO that are going to be stuck on the force buy. Tables really have turned, and the buy for AGO isn't even as good as it was for Pride. They don't even have a single rifle. The best two pieces of weaponry that they actually have available is a UMP and a Scout. And yeah, other than that, just pistols. So let's see what they're going to be able to get done. Will they be able to give Pride a taste of their own medicine? Will they be able to pull off an upset with only some pistols and some other small investments into it? But Pride playing it quite safe at the moment. They are just going to be hanging back. This is what we've seen from them mostly on this D side. We haven't really seen too many fast-paced rounds.
Yeah, not really been too many, as you were saying, fast-paced rounds, but that's because the slow rounds have been working quite well for them. So they clearly feel quite confident in sticking with that strategy. We are going to see PHR with just the Scout. For what it's worth, remember, Ago fully invested here. If they lose this round, Pride will likely take the lead. So considering they had such a strong advantage earlier on, Ago are running the risk of losing it here. Well, that's some good damage early. Petitiek taken down to 15 points of health. 49 seconds left. Pride are preparing the A play. Manise needs this frag, and he is going to find it. That's a big entry because now Reitz can open up, and open up he will. He gets himself 2 kills, and that alone pretty much wins this round.
Yeah, Pride able to do what AGO were unable to do. They are able to withstand those pistols, it seems, anyway, as the last 2 players probably just going to look to save, even though they don't really have too much to carry over. But in the following round, it will be an eco. Pride should be able to claim the lead for themselves, and this has been a very, very good T-side offense so far coming in from Pride. And well, a little bit of damage at least being done by Tao. We could maybe upgrade to that AK-47, and actually Furlan able to find one over towards Ivy also. It's getting a little bit awkward for Pride. They won't be losing the round at this point, but the damage is being done, which is also a bit of a problem. They don't want to lose too many of these weapons. They themselves haven't built up a great economy, and there we go. It will be just Furlan trying to save this M4.
Well, 1 gun saved for Ago really isn't enough here. So we go back to the even scoreline. We are all tied up, and this one could still go close, but with how this has been going, it actually seems like Pride are the ones currently in the driver's seat. We are going to see them not have the most money built up. However, they have a chance to do so now because Ago cannot fully invest into this round. Just the 1 rifle saved on towards Furlan as the real sort of meat and potatoes, if you like. Everyone else is just kind of snacking with pistols. Potatoes are good.
I'm Irish, of course I love potatoes.
Yeah, of course.
I thought you brought up the potatoes because you knew I was Irish, but it was just coincidence, was it?
Yeah, it actually was, but hey, it works out.
At least 1 kill is going to be found by Furlan there during that quick exchange of frags, but it seems like it's still going to go mostly in favor of the Pride team, and no real success right now for AGO. PHR is the last man standing. He has himself a 5-7, nothing really else, so definitely worked for him at least attempting to get a couple of kills right now, as any damage being done to this economy of Pride will allow AGO, once they do get those rifles out, they maybe have an easier time.
How do you like your potatoes, Dean? Mashed?
Yeah, mashed potatoes are the best.
Mashed potatoes are good, aren't they?
Yeah, especially when you get some nice gravy.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm starving now. All I've had today was a bowl of cereal because I've been casting all day. I woke up at 11, started casting at 1, and for those first 2 hours, I was actually my main focus was just to wake up properly because it wasn't working out so well. I started downing cups of tea. I'm perfectly fine now, but I'm just a bit hungry. You mentioning potatoes is what made me notice I was hungry. I didn't notice before that.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm gonna blame you.
It's my bad. I should have known. I mean, I had a sandwich. I was prepared, dude.
Oh, what was on your sandwich?
Just some chicken and some other stuff.
I'm loving it.
Can't really remember. We're getting back into it now, so it's probably time to stop talking about food. However nice food is, CS is nicer. CS is more important. We are going to head back into round 26. And as we were saying, Pride, they've done incredibly well on their T side, at least in the gun rounds. They've won, what, 7 out of 8 in these recent rounds. So looking good for them. Let's see if they can keep that form up, though. Looks pretty good for them, though. They do have the AWP. They do have much more in terms of utility. So, yeah, all things considered, Pride should be feeling pretty decent about their chances starting off this round, especially considering the recent form in the recent rounds, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. And the only success that AGO has had so far on the CT side is when they had that double up, and this time they have 0. So right now I'm favouring Pride definitely to take this game. My prediction is starting to change. Pride are showing what damage they can actually do. Bringing in Petitec seems to have been very, very good for them, as right now they're looking likely to be able to at least start this best of 3 series off with a 1-0 lead, and it's on a map that everyone expected AGO to win, I believe. So Pride doing a good job, as right now they are just going to be grouping up, just mostly a buff in the B halls, a couple of players down Pop Dog. 1 man in A main, so we're not really sure where they're going to be taking this quite yet. But as the time does begin to tick down, they will have to themselves make a decision quite soon. And this is a really good position now from Petitec. Going to be able to find one. Furlan actually yet to attempt to go for that trade frag, and because of that, Petitec's going to be able to find yet another. Takes down Groovy. Morel's looking to come out and try and find that trade, but instead, one of those CTs has managed to creep his way back in towards Olaf, and Furlan in such a strong position finds 2 frags, will eventually get the 3rd, and it's THR to take down Morels. The player that I was expecting Furlan to get the kill on originally is the only one he doesn't kill. What a performance there from Furlan as he steps it up massively, and that's going to be the scoreline once again equalised. And Pride, they do have the money to buy into this one, but it's looking as close as it could possibly be once again.
Yeah, especially under so much pressure there. I think a lot of players in Furlan's position would just take the 1 free kill. That he decided he wanted to make a bigger play. Either way, Manice is also going to make a play to start this round. He picks off Snatchy. That should be a fight the CT AWP will win most of the time, but Manice just straight up peeks out through T main and catches him out in the open. So even though AGO get the previous round win, nothing is guaranteed for this round because they go down a man early on. And I just want to point out, the loser of this round will likely be forced down to an eco. So this is such a key round at this point. Round 27, I think this could be the pivotal one. And as Grubby gets the kill back, it's a 4v4 with so much on the line. I'm sure both sides will be wanting to make sure they don't make any mistakes from this point.
Yeah, even though it's not, I guess you could kind of say this round is playing for map point right now, because the economy of both teams is just so terrible that no matter who loses it, it's going to be a full eco. So this is really playing for map point at the moment. PHR, nice find on the Mani is going to be able to put that advantage back in favor of AGO. That's a really nice find. And the biggest problem I see right now is that was the bomb. The bomb was actually alone in A main, 2 players on IV, 1 in Pop Dog, and with 40 seconds left, they not only have to take over the bomb site, they also have to go back and take control of A main. So right now, AGO looking perfect to be able to take this round. Furlan finds 1. Petitec getting some work done from IV though. But the only problem is he's now the sole remaining player for this Pride team, as he's left in a 1-on-2. 2 kills already, going to have to go ahead and get the 4K if he wants to try and win this for his teammates to stop AGO from claiming this lead, and it doesn't look likely. Nice work there by Grubby as he spots out the shadow and finds the final headshot, as now Pride, as we mentioned, their economy not looking good by any means.
Yeah, really nice round from AGO. As you were kind of saying though, Manice has fully invested. We saw this previously, didn't we? Where 1 player bought up. I think it was from AGO, but this time 2 players fully buy. This looks really nervy from Pride. I was saying in the previous round, I was about to say, they looked like they didn't exactly know what they were doing. They weren't grouped up. You saw the Ivy players take so long to push out after the bomb was dropped. It just looked like they weren't on the same page, and that continues to be the case here, where a couple of players fully force, some of them invest half of their money. Either way, they're going to try and make it work with the A smokes, but it's a bit of a fake. The wall of smokes is deployed, but the team are going to go back towards B. Tao is still here, though. Could he make the difference? The smoke being up, he's going to play up close, and as the flash comes in, Tao avoids it. This could be big as he opens up, gets 2 kills up close. Not quite the 3rd, but it's allowed the rotate to come in, and that makes all the difference. Tom, the only man left, he will fall. And what will the buy be like now for Pride?
Not great. A couple players fully invested. the other two kind of just spent the extra economy they had, so they are still going to be able to at least get the AKs and a bit of utility into this one. But as you can see, Menez and Morel's both sitting on just about 2600. They get the Eagles, they get a bit of utility, but it's not the optimal buy, and especially AGO right now have everything they need. They don't have the double up, they do have the one on the Snatchy, but other than that, they have all the rifles, they have every single bit of utility they can require now to try and close this out, and they actually do have 2 attempts.
PHR is currently pushed into pop, but it's Furlan who actually finds that opening headshot. Petitiak, again, he's been playing quite aggressively so far. Generally, it's been working for him, but this time around, it works against him with his teammate not in position for the trade. So Ago are just 4 kills away from closing up this first map. Just as I say that, Grubby claims another frag. It's all going the way of Ago. Ritz and Morels do have 2 rifles. They have a 2v4 to overcome. I guess an advantage is they have utility, they have time, but they're going to have to get some quick kills, and that is not going to be an easy task up against these Ago players.
Yeah, by no means, but they do actually try to come up to the task as Morel's running out of Pop Dog. I was going to say finds 1 frag should be traded, but he somehow manages to flick over towards the second, and he ends up losing his life eventually, but he's at least done something to try and keep them in this. Ritz is going to be the last man standing, and he is going to be found as a great pop flash goes in, and that is going to be the end of the first map in this Polish showdown, but now we will throw it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you, Hawkeye. Thank you, Dean. And that will be it for Ago Gaming and Pride. First map, Ago managing to win. It wasn't 16-6, as I pointed out, but it was closer to you. You said something like 16-10.
9.
16-9. So they won 16-13, but the win is a win for Ago. They're 1 step closer to that playoff. We'll see how will they play in second map of this final match. But let's break down Train. I mean, round after round, Pride, Ago, there to almost 13-13, and after that we saw Ago closing it out.
Yeah, I was kind of scared when Ago started like throwing some rounds in the second half. I mean, yesterday we watched Twao on both maps against Team Spirit. I mean, he was the MVP of the whole matchup, like having around 40 kills on the Inferno. I mean, today we've seen Furlan taking some important shots. Gruby, on the other hand, had a, okay game yesterday, but today he was invincible in a negative way. On the other hand, in the group of Team Pride, Tom, the same thing, just like Gruby, he was like there, dropping guns to his teammates, playing a support role. And I remember in the second half, Ago was playing an anti-force round, and Gruby at one point just stood in the ground without any cover, and I was like, dude, just hide somewhere, and he got shot down, and I think Pride didn't even managed to take that round, but I wasn't expecting a score like this, 13 rounds for Pride and 16 for Ago, because Ago played really good against Pride in last 2 trains, 16-8 to 16-2. But I guess that Pride is getting better and better. Even with the stand-in player, he had some really important kills. I mean, he pushes through A ramp to A site, finding 2 or 3 kills, but his teammates died on some other parts of the map, and eventually they lost that game. But for the next map, which is Mirage, I mean, I still lean towards Ago, even if they almost threw on a train. So I think it will be in 2 maps, this matchup for Ago.
Yeah, I mean, it will be definitely interesting to see if Ago can make this 2-0, especially after that close game on Train. Of course, the next map is Mirage, and it was picked by Pride, so Pride has a little bit of advantage, let's call it like that, in the second map, and they can bounce back and tie the game up. Before we start the next game and analysis of the next game, we are going for a short commercial break, so we will see you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Farmskins Championship number 2. Also a qualifier for IEM Katowice, where 16 teams are fighting their way through GSL format group stage in 4 groups, of course, to find out if they can qualify for the biggest tournament of the year. And so far, we have Ago facing off against their Polish friends, Pride, and they will play second map of this best-of-3 series after Ago won their first map 16-13. Second map is Inferno, Mirage, and it's picked by Pride. And Pride has, as I pointed out, maybe a slight advantage coming into this one, but we'll see who will take this one together with me in studio. Danny, so Danny, looking at how Ago played, even though they threw some of the rounds on train, now it's more, let's say, more of a basic map coming into play, and Mirage is, let's say, a bit of a standard map now. Everyone knows how to play it. Everyone knows how to set up to go for a mid control and so on and so on. Do you think that Pride can somehow surprise Ago on Mirage?
Yeah, definitely. But Ago really needs firepower from Gruby. He lacked some delivery on the train. On the other hand, Pride really needed Tom to step up. But I think that I mean, Pride picked Mirage. It's their maybe like best map. But the last 2 times these teams played against each other, Ago managed to win in both games. I think in the first time they played, it was in overtime, and Ago managed to win 22-18. So Pride playing with a stand-in who did really good job on the last map. I mean, I remember that first round of the second half when he was left with 1 HP, if you remember, and he killed 3 guys and almost killed the last guy, but he died and that guy defused the bomb. So, I mean, if he continues to play like this, Pride could actually surprise Ago, but we'll see. I still think that Ago has this one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's not a stand-in anymore for them. Maybe just they benched Luz or kicked him or whatever goes in there and brought in a young prodigy that can maybe help them through this qualifier or maybe even in some other tournaments. We are soon ready to go live, so I want your prediction for Mirage.
Again, close one. Let's say 16-13 for Ago.
You think it's going to finish like the last one?
Yeah, kind of. AGO, you never know.
Yeah, nice. I'll go with Ago taking this 2-0 as well, 16-10.
Okay.
So we're ready to go live with our dear casters, Dean and Holka. Guys, take it away.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the stream. Once again, we are just about to get live into the knife round. Rather, I'm Dean. Of course, I am joined side by side with Hawka. Of course, we aren't actually beside each other, but we will be casting for you. And we'll just pretend we are, right? Okay, it makes it a lot more professional. But yeah, it is going to be an interesting game, hopefully, coming up. We did see AGO just about managing to grab that first map away. It was looking extremely close up until towards the finish line, where they just barely managed to get themselves ahead. And coming onto the map pick of Pride now, I think this could be really close, and I think there is a good chance of Pride being able to take this and actually force it towards that decider.
Hey, you say side by side, Dean, but we're not even in the same country. You're using euros, and we're leaving the EU.
Our countries are side by side.
Fair enough, fair enough. Either way, as you were saying, knife round coming in. I think Mirage, I'm still going to edge it to Ago, but with how Pride played on that first map, I could certainly see them taking this. I think it will be quite a close map, so hopefully this series does keep on giving, because training was certainly very entertaining. I want to see more of the same here on Mirage.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting a good game no matter what, but this time I think Pride have a pretty decent chance to take it. I presume they're going to be a lot more prepared on Mirage coming into their own map pick, but then again, AGO, even without Grubby having a solid performance in the previous one, they did manage to actually take it in the end, and I think Grubby's one of those players that usually has a pretty decent performance. Sure, he's not the best performer, but he's usually fairly consistent at least, and I feel like in this game he's not really going to be having as bad of a performance. So on the other side, you also need the players on Pride to step up as much as they did in the last game, and also Tom to help out a small bit more. But actually, while we're on the topic of our countries being side by side, I just want to give you a quick funny story. Actually, I had a friend when I was doing my juniors at the time, I believe, so third year, that's the equivalent to maybe the GCSEs in the UK. And it's when you're about 15 or something. And I actually, one of my friends, shout out to a guy called Calvu, if you've ever heard of him, he actually thought there was a river between Ireland and England, and well, Ireland and the UK. So yeah, I just thought that was funny. But anyway, let's go ahead and go back and focus on the game. It's just a river. It's not an ocean or anything. But yeah, we are going to go back to focusing on the game, and he is going to be the one to purchase up some utility for the terrorist side, and actually no defuse kit for AGO, instead deciding to go all for the Kevlar. And I guess when you can hit shots like that, it is a pretty decent idea. Snatchy is going to be able to find the opening kill, but the only problem is they're playing mostly a retake setup on this B bomb site, and they're doing so without a defuse kit. So that's definitely a very interesting choice.
Yeah, that's really weird. They're going to try and retake things, and there goes a quick shot from Grubby, so maybe they can still get it to work. Furlan also has a nade in hand, which could be useful as they make their way back around. Tishiet gets that first frag, the nade comes in, and Furlan nails the headshot. Looking for another, and he will find it. Tom back in a 1v1 after finding that frag, but he's so low on health. And Furlan hunts him down. Really nicely done there from Ago to realize they have to go quickly. And Furlan really did force the issue with all 3 frags, making the difference. And Ago have plenty of time for the defuse, even without the kit.
Yeah, that was a really nice retake. I was definitely questioning the decision to not actually have any presence on the B-bomb site, especially when you don't have a defuse kit, but yeah, they went for it, and it ended up working out for them just about. Really nice performance towards the end of it there by Furlan, and because of that now it is going to be Pride working with a full eco into this round. They're happy enough at least that they got the bomb plant, so they are going to, in this round, just allow themselves to purchase up at least a couple of pistols, maybe try and drop 1 or 2 of these weapons, and AGO know they're up against an eco. They know that Pride with getting that bomb plant likely are not really going to upgrade too much, and they're just going to get up in the face of their opponent to try and show some confidence, and as you can see, it is working out quite well. Snatchy able to take 1 kill over towards the B apartments as Furlan pushing up mid also claims a headshot, and I think this round isn't really going to last too much longer as the numbers for the Pride side do continue to diminish. Only Tom remains alive now.
Fairly easy frags, not really even taking any damage, only Furlan taking 8 points of health. And Tao struggling a little bit, not really connecting, finally finds the frag. So Ago, as expected, take a quick 2-0 lead, but here comes the buy from Pride. I want someone to go down to a lower gun, but that's not going to happen. We're going to see the 5 AKs come out, so the utility is somewhat lackluster, but at the same time, they do have certainly a weaponry advantage with the full rifles, so they will try to exploit that by the looks of things. And they're just going to spread out to start the round, but if they get this mid presence early, they might try and split the A site, where there are currently plenty of Ago players, so this could be dangerous. Even with the smokes, might be tricky to overcome all 3 opponents on A.
Yeah, but one positive is at least that 2 of those weapons that are being sent over towards that A-bomb site. We do see both Snatchy and PHR working with SMGs, and that could be obviously a disadvantage for them. And as you can see, while going for that aggressive peek, he will actually get dropped by the AK in the hands of Petitek, and Ruby potentially trying to bring this back, but luckily for him, there wasn't really any cover towards the connector position that allows him to be taken down from the side. Furlan, is he going to be able to step up once again? So far he's found 1 kill. Tao with the FAMAS also able to take down Morels. And we do end up in a 2-on-2, but that doesn't even last for long. And this has been a very hectic round so far, and it's continuing to be so as Furlan gets more damage done. This time he uses those tracers perfectly through the smoke to pinpoint the position. And now it's only Petitek for him to try and take down to clutch this one out. He's not really aware of his position, though, I don't think, which is a bit of a positive for that terrorist player. He could readjust himself, rather, and he's not going to do so. Instead, he creeps straight into that angle. Furlan not going to be expecting that, walks out into the open and gives an easy headshot away, as he done his best. He did at least keep the economy for Pride extremely low. They are going to have to reinvest completely into this one, and that actually that puts the economy of Pride extremely low. AGO themselves, though, don't have much left, so this round going to be pretty important for both teams early on to try and maybe get some momentum and confidence.
Yeah, and just to be able to control the economy, we are going to see Snatchy think of a peek. Up against the AKs, he could get the kill, but Tom takes him down really rather quickly there with the spray down. And Menis also captures Grubby out in the open. PHR nearly gets the trade back around, but doesn't quite connect. Eventually gets the headshot, and that tap was beautiful. Second headshot comes out, and PHR now is going to just fall off of the A site. A 3v2 advantage Ago will be fairly happy with, but Tom also taps off ahead in the meantime. So we go back to a 2-on-2, and Tom continues to frag. Another headshot for him, and Furlan is left wondering where his teammates just went, because they were just picked apart from that 3v2.
Yeah, Furlan at the moment, by far the best performer on the AGO side at the start of this map, and he's going to be once again tasked with a clutch that's going to be extremely difficult. And as you can see, he doesn't expect Tom to be already up in that connector position. He is just able to cut off the rotate in the second round now in a row for Pride. As I mentioned, the economy of AGO wasn't looking great after that investment, so it has now been broken. They will be facing against most likely a full eco, bar maybe a couple of upgraded pistols if they're willing to spend that economy, and it is just a few P250s, a Deagle also on the PHR, and Pride now with the full set of rifles should be able to take this round quite easily. Main goal for AGO, likely just going to be some damage.
Just a few upgraded pistols, as you were saying. They'll mainly be looking for damage. We are going to see Tao trying to hold this off angle. It's quite hard to fall back, but he might get the chance for a frag. Push going to come out. The default pistol's in hand, but Furlan gets a quick kill, gets a dink, gets another frag. Okay then, Furlan getting a couple of kills, and PHR also nails a headshot. We're back to a 4v2, and it's looking good for AGO here if they can continue to hold. Furlan's going to get up close. Morales gets a kill back, but Furlan, with just a USP, gets all 3 frags. How has that happened? Great play from Furlan. And Morales is left in actually a tough position now.
Caster's curse. That's all I can say. That's a round that Pride really shouldn't be losing. They kind of just stagnated in the apartment. They seemed afraid after losing that first kill to actually push out. What they should have done is they should have just continued going. By sitting in the apartments for much longer before progressing forward, they allowed for the rotates to come in, and AGO just with too many players down on the side for them to actually be able to win the round. But of course they aren't out around quite yet. Morales is still going to be putting in an effort to try and clutch this one, as we do see him now remaining in a 1-on-2, and without Kevlar on both of these players, it's certainly a winnable situation, especially if he finds this one towards the window player. Furlan losing a lot of HP, and that's going to be at least some info now given towards them. They know that Morales has jumped down, they know that he's made his way up connector, and I presume Groovy and Furlan from this point, they're just going to stick together, ensure that they can pick up this trade frag and try and win this round for their team. But with the bomb down, it could get difficult. Oh, through the smoke, a leg is spotted. So much damage put in towards Morales. He's not really going to have the HP now to make this clutch any easier at all, and it is instead going to be Furlan there from jungle. The little gap in the smoke allows him to take him down, and that is going to be a good round going in favour of AGO. That, in my opinion, they had no business at all getting. Great work with mostly just those default pistols, and there we have it, 3-2. Well, we have the chance though. I'm going to go ahead and say if you like skins such as the ones you're seeing on your screen at the moment, don't forget to go check out the sponsor of this tournament, Farmskins. You can go over there, you can get yourself some nice weapons from the crates that they do offer you. But you purchase those, you have the chance of getting one of the skins that's within the crate, just like in the CS:GO game itself, just like you would on the main menu. But as they promised, they are better drops than what you would get from Gaben. So I guess you'll have to go test that out, see what you can get yourself. And now getting back into this game, Pride, interestingly enough, are going to be going for the force buy. They do look to try and contest this one. They're not happy enough with losing against those pistols and allowing AGO to get away with it.
Yeah, 3 CZs in hand alongside the 2 AKs. Sentry going to go down to underpass. Snatchy with the AWP might get the chance to find an opening if Pride's utility isn't on point. We should likely, though, have the nades ready to try and stop Snatchy, but that nade does big damage, taking a chunk out of Reetz's health. The AWP, though, not going to get an opening, so Pride do gain control towards mid, and Snatchy actually gets caught off guard. Furlan just about gets that frag, but the trade comes back. Grubby, though, to get a couple of kills just to clean up the round. Still a 2v3, which doesn't exactly feel too convincing, but Tao will look to put an end to that as he spots a man in the back. And Tom is the only player left out towards mid. Despite the round looking close, AGO should clean up, and they do just about find that final frag.
Yeah, this is why I love CS:GO. It's just such an entertaining game. Just as we thought Pride were going to be able to get themselves into the lead on the terrorist side, AGO and Ower come out with those pistols, and now they're able to roll over them in a gun round also. So the economy not looking so good for Pride. They will be facing an eco now. AGO should be able to increase this lead just even a bit further, and it wasn't looking like AGO were going to be having a 5-2 scoreline just a couple of minutes ago. So good performance so far from one of those Polish sides. Pride also, by no means are they playing bad, but with not really too much weaponry in this round, they won't really have any opportunity to showcase their talent. Only pistols are available.
Nice kill from PHR and one from Tao. The rifles again cleaning up. It's going to be the 2 players from Pride trying to see if they can maybe gain some ground over towards A. A bomb plant wouldn't be bad, but that is a tough ask considering Petitiek is now the only man left. He won't be alive for much longer as he goes down. So AGO getting off to a strong start. This is something they didn't massively have on train, but they managed to eventually win that first half. So they'll be hoping now on their CT side here they can have a good showing with those 2 AWPs in play. And with one of the AWPs being in the hands of Furlan, who started off this map very, very well, he'll be hoping he can have similar success with the AWP as to what he was having on the M4 previously.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see what they are going to be able to get done, as right now Pride just seem to be going for a fairly standard default. Interestingly enough, rather, they're not really putting too much presence over towards mid. I believe that is just Morel's trying to get some control, get some presence, and it's rather just 2 players on either side of the map holding to see if they can catch any aggression. And I like this angle from Snatchy. This is usually referred to as the Fallen angle, I believe. This is a position that Fallen uses quite often, and it can be very, very useful. You can just fall back once you take that first shot, and as you can see, Snatchy, he's going to be using it perfectly. Takes down Tom, puts the advantage in favor of AGO. And now with a 1-man advantage, AGO should be able to just fall off and play this a bit more passively. They don't have to continue taking forward angles as they just did a couple of moments ago.
Furlan has that AWP on the B site, but oftentimes you will see players try and hold apartments because he's holding very far back. He's not going to get that quick information, and he misses the shot. That could be a big miss, but he manages to recover with a kill on the second time of asking. Here comes Petitiak, though. This might be a frag. Seems very aware of PHR's position. And in the meantime, Manise also got another one with the AK. And with the bomb being recovered, there's a chance that Manise could slip through the cracks and get back towards A. Although Grubby is in towards top mid, he may be able to spot that one out. With 27 seconds, Manise is going to have to get a shift on. He will make the move. Now Grubby should hear the steps. He's going to keep quiet. I believe he may have, because the rotate is coming in. But Petitiak is still locking down this A site, so looks like the bomb should be planted here, and a very winnable position for Pride.
Yeah, nice also little flash there by Manise to allow some map control to come in for the terrorists as they get the bomb down. They look to try and take some control towards CT, but Petitiak doesn't actually commit to that push. Instead, he takes the challenge over towards Connector and Jungle, finds 1 kill. But he is instantly going to be traded back, and now it's going to be Grubby and Snatchy to try and close it. So now up against Manise, who's actually going to be positioned right below Grubby, and it's going to be an easy find as AGO continue to increase their lead now. They do lead by 4 rounds with a 6-2 scoreline. And a reminder, this is the map pick of Pride. It is the second map of the series, and AGO do currently lead 1-0.
And the 2 AWPs are saved yet again for AGO. Pride still going to go for the buy. They're not going to have the AWP ready for Manise. So again, it's just the AKs to play with. And again, it seems like the AWPs are doing a fairly good job. I mean, Snatchy in particular got the opening in the previous round. Furlan hasn't really had the AWP apart from that one round we just saw. So still time for him to get more done with the AWP. And of course, he's already done more than enough with how he started off this map. We are going to see Manise go out towards mid despite not having the AWP. He's going to sit in the midst of this smoke. This is a little bit dangerous, but as he walks through, he might catch Tao, but no, Tao is aware. He gets the quick trade after Manise got the opening. In the meantime, the A push is coming out, though, and Grubby is all alone there. He needs some support towards A. Sachi is going to rotate, but he's not getting there in time. The only smoke, though, is deployed towards jungle, so that AWP towards CT could make the difference, but Morels just takes his head off and makes sure Pride have the A site.
Yeah, and it seems like a pause will actually be called, interestingly enough, by AGO only after losing 1 round. It might be technical. We don't really have an idea about what it's for quite yet. But there we go. Furlan at least taking 1 kill as he's exiting. Doesn't want to lose this up. Doesn't want to make sure that he saves that. But actually, it looks like they may be tempted to go for this as we see Tao getting some successful kills coming in from Palace. But with the trade from Tom, I think Furlan is not really going to want to have anything to do with this round anymore. Definitely going to want to back off. And he should be able to do so with success. Pride, judging by the fact that they have so little economy, I don't think they'll want to be hunting this at all.
Yeah, especially with them going for the double AWPs previously. If they want any chance at that, they're going to have to save this one here. It looks like one of the players has dropped from AGO, so probably just a technical pause for now, but there we go. He's going to get back onto the server quite quickly. And Snatchy could buy up an AWP. He probably doesn't need to drop, actually, because Furlan can do so. So yeah, he should probably just go for the AWP here, straight up, and indeed he will. So AGO will get themselves quite a good buy together. It's still going to be a full buy, really, so they are not really worried too much. And as long as those AWPs can keep on doing the damage, then they will be in quite good shape. We're still really yet to see Furlan do too much with the AWP, but he hasn't really been tested so far, so we'll get to see if he can perform with it into the future, if he gets any fights into this upcoming round 10.
Yeah, but a little bit of a hope for Pride now as they do manage to pick themselves up that gun round for the first time in quite a while after losing 4 in a row it was. So in a position now where they need to try and chain them together, only living with 2 players, of course, meaning they have to, they had to rather drop weapons over to their teammates who didn't actually manage to be fortunate enough to survive the round. So coming into this, it's going to be an important gun round for both sides. We do see AGO invest everything, as do Pride. And if AGO win this one, Pride will be reset instantly onto a double eco. And on the other hand, if Pride are able to take this, the scoreline will be getting really close once again as the double up. Just going to be one of them playing from CT spawn at the moment at least. We see Furlan actually taking his over towards B, playing on the bomb site itself, which is not really a position you would see with that AWP. As Pride just continue on with a very passive round for the moment. A very passive hold over towards middle, as it looks like they may be beginning to inch their way back towards A.
I think it is worth pointing out there, Morel's had a really good spawn, so he went out towards B with the AWP to start the round, but now it will go back into the hands of Manice for the eventual late round play. And it looks like that play will be out towards A, where there are currently 3 players roughly towards the A site, although PHR is all the way back in towards jungle, so he's not really properly committed. And as the nades come over the top, he may struggle to actually have too much of an impact on the A site hold. Gribby and Snatchy are both playing together fairly well. Snatchy does have the AWP, remember, so he could be a big player. And actually, AGO have a lot of utility left here. That could slow down the push before it can come forwards.
Yeah, Snatchy now finally going to be getting a chance with this AWP to just post up towards Palace, and it's actually Groovy that started off with the first kill. He's able to peek out through under Palace and find that first kill. Snatchy also finding one with the PHR aggressive push through the jungle smoke as he uses that bench for leverage, and he's able to find himself one more. Furlan through the smoke, able to find that last kill. Notes the position by using the radar, spotting out those tracers, and AGO, as I mentioned, they're able to successfully reset the economy of Pride, who not looking so good coming into this map right now, down 7-3, and other than those 2 rounds that they were able to get towards the start, they haven't chained anything together after that. Once they got around, they did get instantly reset, and going into this round, it looks like some of the players seem to be, or rather all the players seem to be going for a full buy, and it's not the sort of buy you'd really want going into this round.
Yeah, considering this is almost a full investment, only have the 1 AK to show for it is never a good feeling. And AGO switching things up as PHR gets that double spray down. That's gone horribly wrong for Pride, as Furlan also chimes in with a kill on towards that AWP. You'd have thought there PHR should have gone down to the second player, but he survives on a slither of health. And Tom now with the 1 AK left will really have nothing left to do. AGO again looking really good here. It looks like they are in control. Again, Furlan up there at 18 frags now. It seems like he's just consistently getting the kills. Although not quite this time, because he is dead. Tom just takes him down, surprisingly enough. Still shouldn't be winning the round, but a nice shot to take down the opposite AWPer.
Yeah, well, it still could get a little bit dangerous if he's able to find one of those high HP players. Then he has a chance to maybe try and get a 1v1 against PHR or something along those lines. So it still could be a bit dangerous. AGO, they don't want to really give any weapons away. They should just play it safe now, make sure that they can win this round, and ideally do it without losing another weapon. As Tom, he does seem to be going for this. He has creeped his way down mid. He is close up towards the connector position, I believe, and it looks like he may be making his way towards the A bomb site, and that could be a problem. Groovy and Palace, one more player in towards jungle. That's PHR, and let's see where he decides to try and head towards, and it will indeed be a challenge taken towards Palace, rather, and he's not going to be able to win it, of course, with that low HP, but there we go. AGO able to take themselves an 8-3 lead. Pride, after investing completely into the previous round, they will only have pistols going into this one, as AGO look to increase this lead even further.
And they should be able to, with Pride only having pistols. In fact, no utility bought up. So Snatchy could have a field day out towards mid if he goes for the peek at the right time, and the flash allows him to dish out some damage. Eventually the kill comes in, another flash blinds them all. Snatchy wants this ace, is he going to get it? No, PHR steals it away. Scumbag PHR.
I guess you could say he snatches it away.
Oh, there you go.
I thought you were going to go with that. That would have been so easy.
I'm not smart enough.
I expected more from you, Haka, but yeah, nice round that away by Snatchy. He's going to get a lot of confidence building up those eco frags. He was before that only on 5 kills, I believe, 5-7. So now he's up 9-7. Got his way towards that positive KD. Not really a big deal, of course, but he will be happy with that rating towards his HLTV score, of course. But yeah, not the main focus. But going into this gun round now, Pride, they need to start trying to build up a couple of rounds, and that's not really the start they wanted. Snatchy going to be having a nice aggressive push through underpass. Orlan also going to be able to find one in the B apartments, but as the sole defender at B, that's an interesting choice, especially considering he instantly gets traded now, and that's actually going to allow some control to come in. Of course, Pride still working with a one-man disadvantage, but this B bomb site can be difficult to retake, even with a one-man advantage going in towards that retake. And PHR, great find on that frag. That was so crucial. If Morel's won that, it could have got very dangerous for AGO. Or, yeah, for AGO rather. So now it's only Reitz and Tom to try and clutch this one out. And Reitz has been having a great performance so far, or at least in the series overall, he's been playing quite well, but it may be too much to ask about these players. As Tom looking to try and prove me wrong as he takes the first, taking down PHR, but instantly traded out by Groovy. All onto Reitz in a 1-on-3. Finds the first, transfers onto the second, but it will be Groovy to close it out just about. As the defuse should be easily enough coming in, and AGO are going to be able to make their way onto double digits already. We are only about to enter into the 14th round of this map.
That was some insane spray control from Reitz. He nearly transferred it onto the final player, but the trade just came out too quickly, so it wasn't quite meant to be. And there you go, as you were saying, they get double digits already on their CT side. Since they've got these two AWPs, they really haven't looked back. Into round 14, we are going to see the AWP go out towards mid. It's going to go in towards Connector, and Manice, with the scout in hand, not quite doing too much damage to Tao, but he does connect with a shot. That nade nearly lands, but doesn't quite go into the window. As Manice now falls back, he will get to safety, but the B push is coming in. Furlan up close will fall. So that's an AWP drop down. And the 3v4 hold on the B site again. They claim control of B quite quickly, but the post plant might not go their way. Even with that kill from Morels, they have a man disadvantage.
Yeah, and AGO looking likely to be able to increase this lead even further, but it's not over yet for Pride. Once again, down on this B-bomb site, they will be working in a disadvantage in the after plant, but with that opening frag being found by Petitek, it does give them a bit of a lifeline now to try and work off of. If he's able to find this, it's even better, and there we go, a really crispy headshot as he does manage to burst through the corner of the wall. It's all onto PHR, and Petitek steps it up massively in the after plant to find all three, and that is going to be a great round coming in as he finds 4 overall, I believe. Pride desperately needing that round, and they are going to be able to get on the back of a great performance, but ideally now they want to pick up this 5th also. AGO not really having the best buy, but it is still going to be pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a huge clutch from Petitiak. Don't think that it's going to necessarily lead to the full-on comeback, but that's the kind of thing that could cause it to happen. But look at Tao. Here we go. The UMP gets the 1 frag. And Tao, more than happy with that, just decides to fall back. Now he thinks of the repeat, but decides against it. Oh, and Tom gets that headshot so quickly. It's almost like he knew the peak was going to come in. Spots out the second man, and Tom keeps on going. 3 headshots for Tom. That was very, very impressive. Well played by him. And that should win Pride the round. It looks like one of the players has dropped from the server. It's still a 2v1 though, so they should be in good shape as long as they don't give away a free pick to Grubby.
Yeah, Tom not actually looking so healthy, and Grubby right now is coming in from short. He is able to spot out that first player over towards the bench position, but he still needs to be wary of the open apartments, and as you can see, Menez is going to be able to take himself that kill. So great performance by Tom in that final round. He's able to ensure that Pride do at least get up towards 5, which isn't really a bad performance. It's not the ideal half, of course, but if they pick up the pistol, they're going to be getting themselves immediately back into the game. They'll be able to reach up. Well, it depends whether the bomb plant comes in, of course, by AGO on that on the pistol on the terrorist side, but they should be at least reaching 7 or 8 before they have to actually take a full challenge against those rifles.
Well, I assume we will have a quick pause before the second half, although, just as I say that, Pride get their 5th back onto the server, so that is good to see. As you were saying, though, Furlan really standing out for AGO with 21 kills, but I guess we haven't really talked about Tom. He did step up in that recent round with the 3K, and ending the half on 17 frags certainly is impressive, especially when Pride are losing so heavily. He certainly won them a couple of key rounds that have got them to this point where they are still in the game. But even with this being Pride's map pick, as you were saying, it's not exactly an easy comeback to pull off. They really are going to, I think, mainly rely on that pistol round. It's possible if they don't win the pistol, but I think if they win the pistol, they actually have a decent chance. So that's what they will be looking for here. And as we get the unpause together, we'll get to see which way this all-important pistol plays out.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like not winning the pistol on the T side isn't quite as big of a deal. Of course, you do want to win it, but at least when you're on the T side, if you did get the bomb plant, at points it's easier. If you do get the bomb plant, then at least you only have to eco for the 1 round. But once you're on the CT side and you can see it, that's most likely 3 free rounds going over towards, or rather 2 free rounds plus the pistol going over towards the other side, and it's not really what you want unless you're able to get the upset, of course, with the pistols yourselves, and you want to try and take that if possible. Pride, they need to get this one in my opinion, otherwise they'll likely be down 13-5 before they do get the rifles out. And going into this one, they will not have a defuse kit, interestingly enough. Tom instead opting to go for the CZ and the grenade, and AGO with a small amount of utility on towards Tau. Looks like they will be favouring this B bomb site, where actually Pride themselves have decided to get an aggressive stance. 2 players on the balcony, a little bit of a bait and switch play, but Snatchy, what a shot comes in as he takes down Tom. And right now Petitek struggling to try and stay alive as he just runs around the site in circles, will eventually fall, and it's AGO to claim themselves a 2-man advantage and full control of this B bomb site. And with the bomb down, Pride, it's looking difficult. It's looking like they may not have too much to try and grasp onto in the remainder of this game, as the damage still continues to be done with these Glocks, and not a single fight has been won yet. As I say, that Morels does at least find a single headshot, but instantly going to be traded, doesn't have a chance to get anything else done.
Yeah, could that be the round that sends Ago to the victory here in this series? It certainly feels like that might be the case. A very dominant pistol round as well out towards B. Got to give them props for getting the entry so quickly, especially Snatchy. That opening entry out towards the apartments in that close right position was so quick. That made a big difference. Grubby spots the peak. He was very aware of that, although Snatchy isn't very aware of Morel's position. He's going to go down without doing too much damage. Grubby, though, in the meantime, gets another headshot. That will open up the A site, and that should settle things, although Petitek does get a free kill. I'm not sure exactly where Tau was going there, considering his teammates were on the A site, but he was in a tough position either way. If he goes out towards mid, he could have also been in trouble. So loses the AK. Looks like Petitek might just try and save that one, which wouldn't be too bad, but with the full investment into this round, they couldn't really force around that save.
Yeah, not really too much they can do. They will likely just have to go for the eco and allow that 13th round to be conceded, and with at least an AK in the following round, as long as they are able to save this, it gives them some sort of a hope to maybe try and pull off the round. Of course, one saved AK, we've seen in the past what damage can actually be done with a single weapon, but it's by no means easy. It's not super likely that you're going to win those rounds most of the time. The team with the better weapons should be taking it. And yeah, going on towards the 18th round now, it is going to be getting quite difficult for Pride.
Ooh. It looks like they're going to buy up then. Petitek drops a scout. It's going to be in full investment. I mean, they are 7 rounds behind, so I guess the full force isn't a terrible idea. They want to be able to get back into contention as soon as possible. I don't think Ago will fully expect this force buy either. They do know the AK has been saved, though, so they will be aware that's a possibility and likely still play it fairly safe to start the round. You see Reitz with the CZ try and peek apartments, or sorry, towards Palace. He's going to spot out Grubby. The CZ at long range opens things up. That's exactly what Pride were looking for, because they get a second AK into play. And a real decent chance. Petitek, what was that? On the edge of the smoke, he gets that frag. A very quick kill coming in. And out of nowhere, Pride looking good in this round.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting. Furlan wants to go ahead and give them a bit of a hand also, as he does 10 points of damage to his teammate as he jumps across connector. So at least upgrades his way to an AK. That gives him some better weaponry to try and get the job done, and is actually able to find himself a quick headshot on towards Mini. As a reminder, Furlan has been the best performer so far on this AGO side, but with low HP and with his teammates slowly getting taken down, it's looking unlikely that AGO are going to be able to withstand these pistols. And there you have it. That one rifle coming in for Pride, a couple of pistols, and a couple of retrieved rifles also during the round. End up putting that round in favour of Pride, and they do keep themselves alive. We were both kind of worried about that force buy, even though if they did actually concede it, it was looking like they would have basically no room at all to actually try and get a good CT side. So they go for the force buy. It's high risk, high reward, and it works off perfectly. And now it's going to be AGO instead that work with the weaker buy, and Pride giving themselves a lifeline to try and get themselves back into this game. As at the moment, AGO seem to be just splitting up pretty standardly. 2 players in the B apartments, 2 over towards A, 1 towards the T-spawn at the moment, and early on a nice little challenge comes in by Petitek. He's able to get a lot of damage on towards Tau, who looks to actually continue to try and fight towards this B-bomb site, and a great nade goes in. That should be closing them out, but no, 1 HP, just about hangs on. A nice gust of wind would take him down at this point, as Snatchy is being hunted by 2 counter-terrorists through this connector position. Mini he's not going to allow Snatchy to escape, and it will indeed be the headshot that comes in.
Well, Pride eventually get the first kill, not on towards Tao, who, as you were saying, survives on 1 HP, but rather on towards Snatchy, who goes down first. The rest of the Ago lineup are going to group up around the B bomb sites. Flash will be deployed, and it looks like Tao not going in first, despite being on 1 HP. Now he will take the point and try and find an entry, but Petitiek is here. 2 quick kills. That should do the job, especially as a team kill comes in. That's a little bit unfortunate. Tom up close with the pistol, jumping shot. All right then, Tom swagging on them, really, to be honest. Nicely done there to get the 7th round. I mean, takes confidence to go for the jumping pistol, but up against the AWP, it's not even a bad idea. Just try and bait out the shot, miss it, and then he's just out in the open and pretty much dead.
Yeah, and the team kill didn't help at all. So, I think he took down Grubby, was it? Forlan took down Grubby, I believe. So, yeah, not really helping them, of course. It didn't really look like they were going to be able to take the round anyway. It wasn't really going in their favour. Both of them were already quite low HP, and Pride coming into this one should be able to just clean up the eco quite easily. PHR doesn't even seem to be present at his computer. He has now returned at least, but while he was gone, he's lost 2 teammates as they fell to that aggressive mid-push. So not a good start for this round into this round for AGO. Perhaps just using it to discuss what they will do in the upcoming one once they do have some weaponry to actually work with, and they're not really going to have too much time. We see it just being a basic shutdown coming in by Pride as expected when you have those rifles over the pistols.
Well, here we go, back to a buy, although Ago don't have too much to work with in terms of nades. Certainly a little bit lacking in terms of their utility. That means that they might have to try and play aggressive to play around that. We'll wait and see what they decide is the best option as Manise, ooh, nearly gets that entry there. He's going to flick back around, and he does manage to find the frag as Furlan really trying to force the action there. After seeing the AWP up close, he kind of got baited into the push, and Manise misses another shot. Finally connects. A little bit of a strange round. Manise missing a couple of easy ones, but eventually recovers and gets the 2 kills necessary to give Pride a huge advantage. And well, Snatchy can't even type pause right. That, I think, sums up how these rounds have been going recently for Ago. Nothing has been going there.
That pause.
Gotta love the pose.
Pose. Yeah, but PHR, I don't really think there's much he can do right now. Kind of just trapped back in the T-spot, and he does actually go ahead and find 1 kill on Tom, who may have got a bit overzealous there, extending, trying to find himself that final kill. Wants to get that as extra stats for himself, perhaps, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. There is some economy available for Pride. They do have the money to reinvest fully into the next round, but ideally, of course, they don't really want to try and they want to try to at least not lose any more weapons. They want to try and close this out as clean as possible. And PHR at the moment, he's just looking for those exit frags. That's really his main focus right now. They do have very little money left, so also a bomb planted would be a massive bonus, but I don't think either is going to be likely, as Morels from this position above should be able to find the final kill, and he does so as he decapitates PHR from above. It's over. He had the high ground.
Well, in comes the timeout we were talking about previously. This is called, of course, by Ago, considering they've lost 4 rounds on the trot, and they will likely just go for pistols again. Should be able to get a really strong buy together, though. They should be able to get an AWP into the hands of Snatchy if they want it. Furlan could also pick it up, depending on the spawn. Sorry, he could try and go out towards mid. That's always an option. So we'll have to wait and see what it's like into the upcoming round. But for the time being, it will just be some pistols invested. They could still just go for A-smokes or something like that, which has a decent chance of getting the bomb down. Certainly wouldn't be a terrible idea. Or just try and work the map and see if they can get an opening if they go for the digs. Either are options. There's still options open to them. And slowly but surely the buys will filter through, and we will get to see what sort of weaponry they have to work with. A few pistols being bought up. They could just try and get up close, I think, with what they have available. I think I prefer them to maybe buy up a couple of smokes and just try and get that bomb down. Then maybe you can get yourself a gun, see if you can get something going from that point onwards. And they will have a bit of utility to use, which is good to see.
Yeah, that is at least something for them to work with. They have the Desert Eagle, they have the couple Desert Eagles. They're rather the 1 Desert Eagle, the couple CZs, and also 2 P250s, one in the hands of Snatchy, one in the hands of Furlan with that utility. So main focus now is get that bomb plant down. They do have full money bonus coming into this following round, so $3,400 will allow them to get the full buy no matter what. But ideally, you want to get that bit of extra money for yourselves. You want to cause some damage to the economy of your opponents, who actually now there's a very strong economy being built up by Pride. It's only Tom that's looking low. The rest of the players, 11,000, 6,000 8,000, 9,000, and 10,000. So they have the money for a while to buy at least. So AGO need to try and actually get some damage done in this round. And it's not a great start. That usage of utilities is perfect by the CT side, as Tom is going to be actually able to spray down too after the utility just kind of makes it a little bit easier for him by slowly chipping away the HP. And now it's only Groovy that remains, 1 on 4. And he is going to get taken down by Miniz in the end.
And despite Miniz again missing a couple of shots, they're still getting the round wins. He's still picking up a couple of kills. And Petitiek is going to pick up that second AWP for the Pride side. As we were saying though, AGO do now have a full buy in their hands. Snatchy even getting the AWP into play. Berland's the only man out towards mid, surprisingly enough. Snatchy not going there with the AWP. He was over towards A to start the round, but now Snatchy is coming back around. But Petitiek, with that AWP he just managed to gets that opening kill out towards B apartments. We've seen this time and time again, the opening pick going the way of Pride, but this time, Snatchy has an AWP of his own, so he can get the pick back, bring it to a 4-on-4, give them a good chance still in the round.
Yeah, good start into this round, but with Furlan on low HP, I would normally say a 4 versus 4 should favour the T side, but a bit of damage has been done. It should be fairly even at the moment. The CTs, of course, do have to stretch their defense just a bit more thinly, but it shouldn't really be too big of a deal on Mirage. I think it's one of those maps where it doesn't matter quite as much, and it's actually PHR to find a nice opening frag there onto Tom. So as I said, at the terrorist side, AGO are going to be able to claim themselves a nice advantage, and with the bomb reapproaching now, it looks like they will be splitting onto this A bomb site, and Reitz is going to have a tough task now to try and actually hold this down, as he's playing currently from the site itself. And players coming from ramp and connector does at least have some support. Morel's in jungle, but he's not going to be able to get anything done. It's Furlan again. He's the player that really has been showing up for AGO as he finds a quick double kill, both of those being headshots. And it's only going to be Petitiek now that remains alive with the AWP, and the economy of the CT side, as I mentioned, it is extremely strong. So maybe he could go ahead and maybe try and take one exit frag in the process, or if he doesn't really think that's worthwhile, just saving it would probably be for the best. But you maybe can just hang around towards kitchen like he is at the moment and take 1 or 2 kills in the process.
Yeah, looks to be the case. He's in towards Kitten, so he should be rather safe, especially with AGO wanting to build up some cash. I mean, you have to remember as well, to be honest, Pride's economy isn't a massive issue. They have got quite a lot of money built up, so they shouldn't really be in too much trouble. They can certainly still buy up 2 AWPs if they so desire, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it, because it seems like those AWPs are working fairly consistently to get them the opening pick. And there we go, Miniz will purchase the AWP for the CT side. Now that Snatchy has one in his hands as well, though, he could be quite a key player for AGO, because we saw in the last round, even after they lost that first frag over towards B apps, Snatchy got the kill back towards mid, he got the pick in reply to bring it to a 4-on-4, and it seemed like a lot of the rounds AGO were losing earlier were due to losing that opening pick without a trade. So maybe Snatchy could make the difference, but as I say that, a chunk of his health is lost early into the round as Morels takes him down to 14 HP.
Yeah, and he's not even going to bother backing off. He knows it's such a small little pathway that if he does, the spam likely to come through. He's instead just going to hang around for the moment. And look at this aggressive push by Petitiek, also one of those ops on the CT side, right up in Palace. And I don't know if he's aware that there is a player just waiting around to the left of him, and it looks like he's going to continue pushing. Groovy may be able to find that, and there we go. The headshot does indeed come in. An opening frag once again in favour of AGO, similar to the previous round. Let's see if they're going to be successful at being able to actually capitalise on this, but instead, actually, Snatchy, now he decides to take that peek already on low HP, gets taken down by the opposing opper, as Miniz is able to bring us back into an even situation, and an aggressive push by Reitz. It's now actually a one-man advantage for the Pride side. This has just happened out of nowhere. It was looking like AGO were in a really good position to try and get themselves another round onto the board, and once again back in favour of the AGO team. They manage to creep one player up connector, find that man towards ramp, and with Furlan finding another, it's beginning to fall apart once again for Pride. Onto Tom now in a 1-on-3. Very difficult situation now for him to try and pull off to stop AGO from getting up to 14.
Tao does that final shot. A 3k for him. Should save the AWP. There we go. Just about gets it back. So AGO will be 14-10 up. Pride, though, as we were saying, they do have plenty of money, but that's not the issue for them. The issue has been these recent rounds just being straight up lost. Even though, again, they're doing an okay job at these AWPers getting kills, it's not really leading to the round wins anymore. And AGO They're going to group up around the A site. This time around, Reaps is the only real man committed. The two AWPs are nowhere near. I guess Manice is somewhat close in towards window, but it would still be quite a long rotation. So if the nades were to come in, Ego might be able to get onto the site quite quickly. But with 3 players in towards Palace, they're not really going to have the smokes lined up. This might just be a full-on push out through Palace and hoping to get the timing right here.
Yeah, and it could actually work out. Reitz is on the default box position, which can be quite bad when multiple opponents come out of the Palace, because trades like that can happen quite easily. There's really no cover for him to fall back off towards. So we do end up on a 4-on-4, but damage has been done to both sides, especially towards those players over on AGO. Groovy and PHR, they have received a substantial amount of damage, and running back through the smoke, they're not really having any success quite yet. Bomb yet to go down. They haven't really had any really sort of chance to actually get that over down on the bomb site itself. And Maniz from CT spawn looking to try and get some work done with the up, and oh my god, Maniz spamming through the smoke and through the corner of the box. He denies the bomb plant. And now Grubby and Furlan are going to have to attempt to try and clutch this one out to stop Pride from finally taking another round. And it's looking very doable as Grubby and Furlan find one each rather. All onto Petit Tech with the AWP. Has not been having the best game. He's been playing well, but we've seen him do better, and we know what he can pull off, but he's not going to be able to pull it off this time as Furlan hits yet another headshot, and this man has been playing like an absolute monster. Currently 26-14 on the scoreboard. When you factor in the team kill he got earlier on, he's actually currently 27-14, so quite a bit ahead of the next player on the scoreboard, which is PHR with 19. As Pride, they have succeeded another round to AGO, allowing them to pick up map point and serious point, as only one round potentially remains unless Pride are able to get something done.
Oh, Titiek nearly gets the first and eventually does with this scout. Nicely done to find that first alongside the assistance from Manice. There's still a couple of rifles in play, so we certainly can't count Pride out yet. But that previous round, it was a real brawl on the A site. Without the utility being left for Ago, they just close it out, and Manice, such good timing for the dink, but actually doesn't get the kill there. I thought that was a guaranteed frag. The PHR will be counting his lucky stars as he scrapes staying alive. And in the meantime, Grubby gets an entry out towards A. He's just going to continue to sell the presence here. The peek's going to come in from stairs, and Grubby not quite spotting that out. Petitiak in the meantime goes for the peek, does the damage, misses the second shot. So Grubby is on the site, and the rest of the team is now there to back him up. But Morel places an aid onto the site, takes down the low health player. Snatchy, though, aggressively gets such a quick flick for that frag. And it's all up to Tom and Manice to keep Pride in this series.
Yeah, Tom and Maniz, both low HP. They are going to have a real struggle now in an attempt to try and bring this round back in their favour. But Maniz on this flank could be the man to get it done. And he finds a quick double kill. Tao and PHR are going to fall simultaneously as now Tom may be able to find a player through that murder hole, and indeed Pride managed to bring that one back. It was looking all but over. Tom on 1 HP, Maniz on 18. They managed to pull off the 2-on-3, get the bomb defused with plenty of time remaining, even retrieve an up, and out of nowhere Pride have managed to keep themselves alive, at least for the moment. The economy for AGO, it may allow a buy to come out once again, even if it's not perfect. They should be at least able to get all those rifles out, and 4 rounds now Pride have to take in a row to try and force this into overtime.
Wow, Pride keep themselves in with a chance. Tom just about winning that fight. As you were saying, 1 HP. That could have gone very differently if he loses out. But instead, Pride now have a chance to keep on going. And Tom will take that chance and capitalize with a quick kill. Petitiak holding off, gets a quick headshot, drops down the bomb. That can allow the rotate to come in quickly, and Petitiak slowing them down as he gets a second. Again, another player surviving on 1 HP. He will eventually fall, but Tom will find the trade because of it. And Manice is also in position thanks to them being slowed down. The Pride are going to keep this one close. It's now a 3-round difference. With Ago not having money, this could very much go down to the wire.
Yeah, this is an eco now for AGO. Pride going to be able to get themselves up to 13. Then there's a gun round for AGO, but if AGO were to lose that, going into what could potentially be the last round, could potentially be the last round of the game, but could also be the round that allows Pride to force it to overtime. So only really 1 more gun round for Pride to actually take down in order to get to overtime. So it's not as difficult as it looks, even if it looks fairly easy by the scoreline. Only 3 more in a row. Definitely doable, with 2 of those being ecos and a half buy, as Reeks just spamming away towards ramp, finds himself 2 quick headshots, and now there's 2 in the difference as Pride and AGO giving us such an entertaining match. Both these maps so far have been very close, and AGO the previous time they did manage to just about edge the win, and Is the same thing going to happen this time, or will Pride be able to actually bring it back?
That's the question on everyone's minds. What will happen in this very round? Because Ago have invested fully. This is the round that will give them the best chance to win out. Reitz is going to be holding the A site. He might have a bit of a tough task here because there are plenty of players in Palace ready to line up the push. He doesn't really have much support, although now Morels is watching Palace to help him out. So that will give Reitz potentially the information to try and get the spray down. Couple of nades out towards A. Ago going for the flash over the top. They're going to go for the A push. Let's see if Reitz can do the damage. He is on the site. He gets 2 kills quickly. The flash is coming in and Reitz is hungry for more as he blinds another player. And Reitz keeps on going. Such a key time to step up. And Reitz does exactly that, leaving Snatchy all by himself. He actually gets 2 quick kills. Could the 1v5 really be possible? Probably not. The bomb's down on the site. But Snatchy has made it at least slightly more doable.
Yeah, Reitz isn't looking so healthy. If he's able to win out that battle, then it'll become considerably easier, especially considering Maniz with that off. He is the sort of possibility where if he misses a shot, he could get taken down. Luckily enough, this time when he misses the shot, he does have somewhere to fall back off into that is relatively safe, and on the repeat, he is able to take himself that kill. So Pride now, all they need is 1 round to force it into overtime. I mentioned that it was going to be just the 1 gun round, and then after that, AGO are going to be working with a bit of a half by. They, of course, will invest everything they can. It's for last round of regulation, rather, so they have to do that. Unluckily for them, you're not really able to save that over into the overtime, even if it wouldn't really be needed due to the extra economy. But yeah, everything comes out. They get themselves a decent amount of utility, I guess, but firepower-wise is the main concern.
Well, Dean, we have gone the distance. All 30 rounds will be played. And Reitz there bought up an auto sniper. I'm not sure if it's going to be used. The Scar 20 is an option. Of course, they can buy up whatever they want. It's the last round, so they can choose and pick any weapon available. The auto sniper not being recovered. Petitiek is actually, I think, sort of taking the AWP over so that he can use both the AWP and the M4 depending on what he wants. So that's actually quite smart to do in this sort of position. He's going to have the AWP and the M4 both towards the B site. Doesn't look like that will be too relevant, though, because Ago look to line up the A play. They've tried this a couple of times. It hasn't really worked too well. Let's see if this time around it can switch things up. It's a full-on AX execute, in round 30.
Yeah, and that's not the start they would have wanted. Perfect nade goes in, so much damage done to multiple players, at least a small amount, and then Snatchy is the one to take the majority of it. He takes a hefty load of shrapnel from that nade, it must have been, as he's brought down to 21. But at least AGO do get the bomb planted. Of course, they do want to win this round. There's no real positive from getting the bomb down, but it gives them a good chance now to try and get into solid after plants. And actually, as they try to retreat back, Tao is going to be caught by Maniz as he jumps back across. And now with only 2 rifles, 2 pistols, and a couple damaged players, they do have to try and win a 4 versus 5, and I don't know how likely this is. And as you can see, the CT is right now, they are just going to be cleaning this up. Reith, Tom, they are going to be both chiming in, and it's all on PHR with Eagle. As he gets spotted, he will be finished off, and it will indeed be overtime that we go towards. And this has been such an amazing game so far. So close, and every time you think one team is going to take it, the other one comes back and proves you wrong instantly.
Wow, if we thought the first map was close, this one is proving to be even closer. 16-13, Ago 1 back on train. And now we have, at the very least, overtime on our hands and potentially multiple overtimes. I believe it is going to be MR3, 10k starting money. I think that's what it was yesterday. So that should be what we see come out. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Again, 13 to 19 rounds would take the win. And Pride should stick on their CT side, which looked really quite strong. So Ago going to need to overcome that. It's actually 16k starting money, so the money really isn't a factor. We'll get to see the AWPs come out. And here we go. Let's see if Ago can overcome their poor T side that they had to close out the second half.
Yeah, that's the question. At least now they won't really be struggling for the buy, or at least for the moment. I believe this is 16k, so they won't actually really be struggling at all to buy up in this overtime. So I like that. They will have the chance now to show what they can do once they do have the weaponry out, but it's not really the best start. Mini is able to find one, Morel's able to take down one player before falling himself, and Pride now with a one-man advantage is looking like they may be able to carry over this performance that we saw towards the end of regulation. But of course, 3 players do still remain for AGO. They will be looking to try and grasp this round back into their control as they do group up over towards the A side of the map, and it's actually only at the moment 1 player in a position really to try and defend this, and no one really to give him any sort of support.
Flash comes out, and still Manice is just holding this position in towards mid. He's not coming to assist Reitz, who is all alone. He just gets overwhelmed on the A site without any assistance. Finally, the rotate is called, but with the smoke being up, Manice is going to have to find a gap. He's going to jump up. They're not going to spot him. Manice misses that key shot. The push will now come to the site, and I don't think Manice will have another chance. There are still 2 AWPers left on the CT side, though. Petitiek has one of his own, but he misses the chance. It's PHR to peek on towards him for the frag. And Tom now has to hold it off. He gets the 1 and the 2nd. No ammo for the 3rd, though. 1 too many players to deal with as Grubby takes him down. And Ago do get that 1st round together on their T side. That could be really, really big for them. If they can get 1 more, they should be in really good shape.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice round there to bring that back by AGO, but Pride kind of not really having any players in position to be able to pick up trades. They were playing a little bit solo, I guess is the best way to say it. They were counting on their own individual skill maybe to hold down the bomb site, and I guess they kind of had to leave a player over towards mid as well to spot window in case of the boost, but there we go, Petitec this time. He's going to be able to start it off for Pride, and there's no trade actually possible at the moment for AGO, at least not over towards B. There should be no peaks coming in, and Pride finally finding that open advantage for themselves. After succeeding the previous round, or rather conceding the previous round.
And that's Snatchy's AWP bomb, and they haven't recovered it. So Ago just going to have to work with the AKs they have. And it seems like Ago are loving this A site. They're consistently grouping up for the A play. This time around, Pride are much more ready for it, with a couple of players committed to A, one of them being Manice with the AWP. So good to see the adaptation come through from Pride, and it might just work for them because we're about to see the push come in all over that A site. And Manice gets the 1st before the push comes in.
Yeah, and it looks like it will be a round gone in favour of Pride now, as after taking that 1-man advantage, just hasn't been any success for AGO. They may find a frag or 2 towards the end of the round, but that is likely going to be it. It's just PHR to get 1. Nice use of the Molotov. Reitz wasn't able to escape. He accepted death at that point, I'd say. He tried to run, but he knew what was happening. He had no chance at all of getting out of that position, especially since he was already tagged up. So, yeah, he's willing to fall. He knows his teammates have the round, and now it's going to be equalised once again, keeping it as close as it could possibly be. Not only do we head to overtime, but they then also just instantly trade rounds back and forth.
Manice again with the AWP will play towards mid. That smoke should deny him. That Molotov, though, does some damage, and the nade might also follow up. That did 50 damage to Snatchy. Really well placed, but PHR gets a pick elsewhere. And Tao in position to catch a rotator. There's still a 2nd player up towards B, but Tao doesn't fully commit to the push. So Ago just take the 2 picks to start the round, and they will be very, very content with the position they are in, although Petitiek spots the shoulder, bringing it back to a 3v4. And now Ago need to make sure they do group up before they do go for the push. And it looks like they are slowly but surely doing that. With a little over a minute left on the clock, they slow things down and make sure they stick together for the eventual site take.
Yeah, but Pride are still in a pretty decent position, I'd say, to bring this back right now, especially when they've already begun to kind of... They've given up the B-bomb site. They have a player pushed up towards short who can maybe try and actually spot that connector. Player who's actually just trying to lurk up, I believe that is Furlan, but right now he hasn't spotted it, so he's going to need to try and help his teammates quite soon. We do see once again one player in the CT spawn with the op, just all the way back, really out of position, not really to give any sort of help to the player who's in under palace, and Reitz is going to get taken down instantly. So as I said, Pride still had a chance in this round. It seems like that has been completely taken away, but Tom still going to go ahead and try and do this, of course. Last round of the first half of overtime, number 1 at least, could potentially be more, but when a 1-on-3, I don't really think there's too much that can be done right now by Tom, and it should be AGO being able to claim that 2-1 lead going on towards the 2nd half.
Flash goes out, Snatchy is holding, and there we go, nails the headshot as he takes Tom out of the action. And as we were saying earlier, I think if Ago get 2 rounds, which is what they've done, they should really be favourites now heading into their CT side, which did look quite strong in regulation. I do have to point out, I mean, previously we were talking about Furlan's impressive performance. He's kind of cooled off a bit. It's actually Tom who's top of the scoreboard for Pride. You don't really remember too many impact plays from him, but he is doing a really good job at consistently finding kills. And as we saw, both teams, remember, got 10 rounds on their CT side. So Ago Only needing 2 more to close this series. They'll be feeling quite good about that. And also the fact that they get these double AWPs for the entire half, I think really helps them out. That's where a lot of their rounds came from in that regulation. So Snatchy and Furlan might be able to make the difference as they both have AWPs.
Yeah, for sure. This double up setup has been something that was, at least in the regulation time, doing a really good job for AGO. And as you can see, it is going to be both of those ops once again. That is going to be able to claim a frag each. Snatchy gets one, he gets himself a second. Furlan also chimed in on towards Tom. And it's all down to Petit Tech and Reef to deny map point from going in favour of AGO. And it doesn't look very likely as it's now a 1 versus 4.
Well, for once, I'm saying something, and it actually comes true. I was saying, yeah, we were both saying the AWPs were good in regulation, and there we go. They actually do live up to it.
You need to believe in yourself, Hockey. You're an absolute genius.
I know. It's always good when that happens. I mean, the curse of the commentator is definitely a real thing, but there we go. Furlan also doubles down, so a double kill for both respective AWPers. And that gives AGO 2 map points and 2 series points here in this Group A upper bracket matchup. Remember, both teams won their series yesterday, so it's a battle of the winners. And it's been a very, very interesting battle at that. But it looks like AGO, for the time being, are on the front foot. And we are going to see Pride actually go over towards A early into the round. Manice is also out towards mid with that AWP, all by himself. He could be in some trouble. We're going to see them, I think, go for the A-split here, and Manice can't really push Connector with the AWP. He's going to have to wait for Reitz to assist him. With 1 minute 25 left on the clock, they don't have to go for this play, but it does look like they're trying to prepare it.
Yeah, certainly. At the moment, there is still smokes down, so even if they did want to go for it, they're going to be at least kept back for at least a couple more seconds. But PHR is going to be the player to open that up. He takes down the first, he takes down Maniz. Morels does eventually trade it, but the train's gone back and forth once again in favour of AGO. It's looking difficult for Pride. They've kind of stagnated back towards the Tetris position. Furlan through the smoke, almost able to pick that up, but he doesn't need to do it. It's Snatchy instead. Once again, the up, stepping it up big. Snatchy takes yet another. And now it's all onto Tom, rather. He's the best performer for Pride, but he's not going to be able to do it. He gets 2 out of 4. And it is going to be AGO claiming this series as they take it 2-0. And now we're going to throw it back to the analyst desk.
An overtime to break this Polish clash between AGO Gaming and Pride, and AGO Gaming were able to finish it out in style, 19-16 in overtime. Looking back at how they almost threw this game at 15-10. He had 4 versus 2, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 versus 2, and they got flanked, killed, and 1 versus 2 after that. Snatchy trying to get a frag, but everything falls apart from that point on. We go into overtime, but AGO still able to close out this game, Danny.
Well, yeah, they had such a great advantage in the first half, 10-5, but afterwards, as you said, they were kind of throwing the game. I mean, at some point, it was 15-13, and it was a situation 3 versus 2. The bomb was planted, and